game-winning winner.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
They may rebound on the view. Hey! Nelson scores! Mario Lemieux and the Penguins lead 5-4, and you'd have to be here to believe it, to believe it, to believe it.
Crosby, backhanded pass, left scores! What a feed from Sidney Crosby for his 90th point of the season. Crosby centering past Malkin, trying to get a couple jabs at it, and getting Malkin from the seat of his pants joins the 500 club.
Welcome to a new era of Penguins hockey on the radio. The Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents Penguins Hockey. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number 1 Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get-Go Cafe and Market, Get-Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Now, here's Joe Brand and Phil Board.
A Monday night in Pittsburgh and a chance for the Penguins to get back in the win column and stretch their point streak to 6 straight games. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Blues come to town looking to get back on their right track. They'll have to do so without a few of their heavy hitters. Welcome back to PPG Paints Arena, Penguins fans, alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. And Borky, let's start with the Penguins roster that has some updates now. Rickard Rakell is out for the next 8 weeks at least. What started as a hand injury Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets turned into hand surgery. But in comes Ville Koivunen, who was a little quiet the first 2 games of the year with the Penguins. But he's been anything but quiet down in Wilkes-Barre Scranton. 11 points in 6 games. The interesting thing is, Danton Heinen put up 12 points down in Wilkes-Barre Scranton. He's a much more established NHLer, but the Penguins decide to pull up young Ville Koivunen instead.
Good to be with you. Got my attention also. You thought, oh, the easy decision, bring up the veteran guy, right? That's what we would have done in the past, but no, you bring up the young guy that you feel like is going to be here for a long time. You hope that Ville Koivunen never goes back to Wilkes. Nothing against Wilkes. I've been there. It's a great little town. They got a ground round there. It's fantastic. But for Ville Koivunen, you're right. He was humbled. He thought for sure, because of the way things finished last year, that he would start the season here, and he did, but was not all that in a bag of chips. And so that's the reality of it. When you play well, you will be here, and you will be in the lineup. You'll get a jersey. If not, you'll either be out of the lineup, like Philip Tomasino, or you'll be down to Wilkes-Barre, like happened to Ville Koivunen. So if you're Ville Koivunen, and you're a smart guy, which I believe he is, you received the message loud and clear. From what I understand, they didn't dance around, Joe, when they sent them down. They told him he wasn't good enough. Those are his words, not mine. They said, they told me I wasn't good enough. I didn't perform up to what they expected. Down to Wilkes you go. But he didn't drag his tongue or his lip on the ice. He just dug in and started piling up points. And so, good for you, Ville. That's how it's supposed to work. And now the next step was secure your position here in Pittsburgh and never go back to Wilkes again in your NHL career.
Not only that, right before the call-up, he picked up the overtime game winner against Charlotte on Saturday and then got called into the coach's office and was told, hey, you're heading back up to the Pittsburgh Penguins. But let's talk about tonight's opponent, because St. Louis is off to a really weird start. Their end of their season last year came to a dramatic end, allowing Winnipeg to score in the final 2.2 seconds and then losing in double overtime. Just a dramatic finish. But now the St. Louis Blues come into this game 3-4-1. They've got a goal differential at -9, and they're a little banged up. They don't have Robert Thomas tonight, and they don't have Jake Neighbors, who's their leading scorer. What do you make of the Blues so far?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I'm being honest. You're right, because last year they were just so up and down. You know, they ripped off 12 straight wins last year, and they just seemed like worldly. They seemed like it reminded you of 2019, right? They're like, oh, are they going to do it again here? Where they just kind of, were wallowing through the first half of the season, then just absolutely caught fire I guess they didn't get a song like Gloria. They couldn't find one. But, yeah, I remember watching that game against Winnipeg in game number 7 in Winnipeg. Adam Lowry scored that overtime winner, and they came out to start this season pretty good, but now it's gone kind of wonky. They're having a tough time keeping the puck out of their net. They lost to the Utah Mammoth 7-4, and then that game, as you mentioned, against Detroit, where they're up 4-0, and they lose 6-4 in that game, I believe, right? 6-4 final. It's interesting, and they got Detroit tomorrow night.
Yep.
You wonder if they'll be peaking at that game. But the biggest storyline here is Robert Thomas, 81 points last year, led St. Louis in points, and then Jake Neighbors, who's leading them in goals this year, was 6, both out of the lineup. Jordan Kyrou, great player. Pencil him in for 30 plus. He got you 36 last year. But I just talked to Joe Vitale. He said Dylan Holloway is a player who might be able to fill that void offensively. He's got all the skills in the world. See if he can put it together. I will reference one thing. Hopefully the Penguins remember what happened when the New York Rangers came in here and they were missing center from Pittsburgh. Help me out here. I'm having
JT Miller.
Not JT Miller.
No, he was here. Vince Trocheck.
Vince Trocheck. Thank you, Joe. Helping the old guy out.
We know what we're doing
Come
here.
on, help the old guy out. Vince Trocheck. And we thought, oh boy, they're without Vince Trocheck. So what do the Rangers do? They come waltzing in here, kick open your front door, and punch you in the nose, and beat you 6-1. So don't take any team in this league lightly. Just because Thomas is out, just because Neighbors is out, doesn't mean that this St. Louis team is going to roll over. They're going to fight. And I know their head coach, Jim Montgomery, is going to have them ready for puck drop.
So Pia Suter moves up to the top line for the St. Louis Blues, and with Rickard Rakell out, Philip Hollander gets moved up to the top line with Sidney Crosby and Brian Russ. I think everyone's been impressed about this kid, Borky. He's just been a chameleon. He's fit in everywhere that Dan Muse has placed him in, and now he's being earned with some playing time up top with Sid and Brian Russ.
And that's what helps him, is he can play all 3 forward positions, comfortable left wing, right wing, wherever it is. He understands now. I interviewed him the other day. He said, maybe in the past, I wouldn't quite have understood what kind of role I have to embrace, but if I want to stay here and I really want to show them what I have, I need to embrace that third line role. I need to kill penalties. I need to find a way to do all the little things that keep me in the lineup. Well, guess what, kid? Your wish has come true. Elevator on the left is for you. Up to the penthouse you go with Sid and Rusty.
He did a little bit of it in the preseason, and we saw it after Rakell went down in the game on Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. It's now time for our starting lineup, which is presented by Clearview Federal Credit Union. Head coach Dan Muse going with that top line of Philip Hollander, Sidney Crosby, and Brian Russ. Parker Wotherspoon and Eric Carlson, your top defensive pair for the Penguins. Should note that Ben Kindle is back in the lineup for the Penguins tonight. He's on the line with Tommy Novak and Ville Koivunen, and Harrison Brunick returns to the lineup as well. He's on a defensive pair with Matt Dumba. Tristan Jarry is in net for the Penguins tonight, and it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. We'll have puck drop for you next as the Penguins get their first look hosting the St. Louis Blues, all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank. Come celebrate Military Appreciation Night, presented by 84 Lumber at PPG Paints Arena on November 9th as the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the LA Kings. Over to the point for Wotherspoon. He risks when he scores! Connor Dewar with the solid... All fans in attendance receive a camo hat presented by 84 Lumber. Puck drops at 2 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Looking for the ultimate getaway? Stay and play at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Whether you're here for a weekend escape or a midweek retreat, we've got everything you need under one roof. Wake up refreshed in one of our stunning rooms and head straight to the action, just steps away from the casino floor. Enjoy a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment, all just outside your door. Visit riverscasino.com and book your stay today. Experience the best of both worlds at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field.
Building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We're just about all set for hockey here in Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena, where the Pittsburgh Penguins host the St. Louis Blues. It's the first matchup between these two teams of the regular season. What's going on, Penguins fans? Alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand, and we are just thrilled to have you here with us for another edition of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. Penguins coming in at 6-2-1 with a point streak of 5 straight games. They saw their win streak come to an end on Saturday against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Meanwhile, the St. Louis Blues come into this game 3-4-1. They are coming off a devastating loss to the Detroit Red Wings back on Saturday when they coughed up a 4-goal lead. They lost 6-4. And they are now being outscored on the season at -9. The St. Louis Blues with their head coach of Jim Montgomery in for his second year with the St. Louis Blues, but his first full season here with St. Louis. We go down to center ice, drop of the puck, and Sidney Crosby wins the draw, juggling the puck out of midair after it was dropped. Penguins in their home black sweaters attacking from left to right. St. Louis Blues in their road white sweaters attacking from right to left. Opening faceoff is brought to you by number 1 Cochran. Go one better. Penguins have Tristan Jarry in net. Joel Hofer in net for the Blues as Brian Rust cranks one wide of the net. Over to the far half wall, Philip Hollander tries to send it deep. Parker Wotherspoon will swat it over to the near corner. Played up along the near wall. Toropchenko of St. Louis looks to clear it out, but Hollander keeps it alive at the point. Got it down to Rust. Now over to Carlson. He takes it down the blue line. Over to Rust. Near circle. Wrister. He scores! Second goal of the season for Brian Rust. He scores in back-to-back games and gets the Penguins on the board 39 seconds into the contest.
This play by Erik Karlsson is sick. My goodness, EK65. That is brilliance, what you just did. He is at a stop, Joe. At the right point, he takes off like his hair is on fire towards the middle of the ice and then just whips a backhand cross ice to Brian Rust, tape to tape. Nobody in this building or on the ice thought that Karlsson could make that play. Rusty was ready for it, and he rips it short side, glove side, 1-0 Penguins.
Now the Pens, a bit of a 2-on-1. Here's Malkin and Mantha. They score! 2 shots, 2 goals, and the Penguins with a 2-0 lead, not even a minute into this hockey game.
Oh, we got shaking, we got bacon, we got magic making here. Oh, Evgeny Malkin. Gino, you're out of your mind on this one. This is a 2-on-3. When you really break it down, Joe, by the time the Penguins enter the zone, it's a 2-on-3. And Gino, with a boatload of speed through the neutral zone, gains the zone. And once he gains the zone, that's when all magic happens. As he cuts through the middle of the slot area, hangs on, sells shot to everybody and their mother's brother, and then slides a backhand pass, absolutely perfect, onto the tape of Anthony Mantha. And he just taps it in the goal. It is 2-0. Good guys.
We are now just over a minute into this game. Well, the Penguins with a 2-0 lead. They've scored on their first shot in back-to-back games now. Saturday night it was Ryan Shea. Tonight it's Brian Rust. And then less than a minute later, Evgeny Malkin sets up Anthony Mantha. He's now scored in back-to-back games. And the woes continue for the St. Louis Blues. There's a lot of hockey to be played, but we didn't even get to the numbers for Joel Hofer. He comes in with a struggling 1-1-0 record, a .622 goals against average that's now been raised, and a save percentage at .789 that's now been lowered.
So in the last 2 games, 8 straight goals against for the Blues, if you count that Detroit game and the first 2 shots here.
We're 2 minutes into this game now as St. Louis chucks it down into the Penguins' end. Tristan Jarry has made 1 save tonight. Blues still have it. Here's Broberg cranking one from the near point. That can get through traffic. The Penguins look to clear it away. They get it up to the neutral zone. Blake Lizotte tries to dig it out to Connor Dewar, but it goes to the stick of Bukestad. Make that Justin Falk of St. Louis. He'll curl around in his own end. A 2-0 lead for the Penguins. We're 2.5 minutes into this game.
Gino keeps his point streak going. Now it's 7.
Evgeny Malkin already leading the NHL in assists. He now picks up number 13. And the Penguins offense and the hot starts continue. St. Louis sends it wide. Fowler plays it off the near half wall. Parayko a drive. That sails high of the net. Fight for the puck along the near wall. It's chopped up in the air. Philip Hollander and skims the netting to stop the clock about 3 minutes into this game. Penguins lead 2-0.
Well, the game the Penguins had in Florida, which was really a good game for the Penguins. Not only was Tristan Jarry really good in that one, but the Penguins got goals from all 4 lines. Let's see if they can duplicate that here tonight, because they got 1 goal from the Crosby line, 1 goal from the Malkin line, and now let's see if the Kindle and Lizotte lines can kick in here too.
That's honestly been the recipe for success for the Penguins this year. Everybody pitching in. Good work on special teams, as the Penguins still have the top power play unit in the NHL. This will be icing by St. Louis. A little over 3 minutes gone in this game. Penguins lead 2-0.
Well, when America needs a power play, EQT delivers, fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing USLNG. That's liquid natural gas from right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So Erik Karlsson also extends a point streak. Now 3 straight games. He's had 4 assists. Philip Hollander picking up the secondary assist on that first goal. That's his second assist this season. Is now pulled out by St. Louis. They snap it up ahead. Jordan Kyrou sends it wide of the net. Jarry poking out of his net, slowed it down with his stick, gets it over to the near corner. And the Penguins clear it out to center ice. Justin Brazeau sandwiched by a couple of white sweaters, and then a good poke check by Chris Letang gets the puck back to Brazeau. Fight for it in the neutral zone. St. Louis takes it back into the Penguin zone. It's Kyrou dragging, shooting, and a save by Jarry. Keeps it 2-0 Pens with over 3.5 gone in this game.
Ryan Shea's got to stop looking at that puck. As Jordan Kyrou can curl and drag you right into a rabbit hole, and that's exactly what he did to Ryan Shea there. You know, I was taught as a young kid, as a defenseman, one thing you look at, the chest. It's the only thing that won't move. Everything else, the head, the hands, the legs, everything else can move. The chest will never move.
Look at a face off of Jarry, and St. Louis controls. They get it up to Kyrou, rather Mayu, who risks one. That doesn't get through traffic, goes over to the near corner. Logan Mayu now the St. Louis Blues after being traded from Montreal this past summer. Zachary Bolduc sent over to the Canadiens in that deal.
Mayu, a former first-round pick of the Habs.
And we saw Bolduc in the preseason game, the opening preseason game for the Penguins over in Montreal.
Good player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Scored a lot in the minors, too, as here's the Blues breaking it back into the Penguin zone. Centering pass, they score. Nathan Walker to the doorstep, and it's Justin Falk with an easy tap in, and all of a sudden St. Louis is on the board. They cut the deficit down to 1. It's 2-1 Penguins. A little over 4 minutes gone in this game.
Partner, I think they're going to give this one to Nick Bjugstad, who went to the back door there. What a play that was by Nathan Walker. And Harrison Brunick was there. He just didn't think, and that's a kind of a rookie mistake there by Harrison Brunick. He didn't think that Nathan Walker could juice this pass back door. And so he not gave up on the play, but he didn't play it as hard. And that pass went right in front of Brunick, right to the back door to the stick of Nick Bjugstad, and he taps it in past a surprise Tristan Jarry. That's a big goal for the Blues. Makes it 2-1.
Absolutely is. They've got the puck back in the Penguin zone now, but Wotherspoon steals it away. Almost coughed it right back up, but Sid will take it on the far side, snap it across ice to Karlsson. He takes it over the Blues line, chips it to Sid. Wrister saved by Hofer. Keeps it 2-1 Penguins with 15:19 to go in this first.
Yeah, that's a huge goal by former Penguin Nick Bjugstad, because I think it allows St. Louis to kind of breathe a little bit and say, okay, we're going to be okay here. 2-1. We're fine. Let's get our legs. Let's get some saves. Let's get some hits. Let's get into this hockey game, because we're right there. Because if the Penguins score the next one, this is a fragile bunch. You know, without Thomas, without Neighbors, it goes 3-0. They might start the old, here we go again.
One save by Hofer so far since giving up the first 2 goals, and it was on Sid's wrister just a moment ago. But right after he allowed that second goal by Mantha, Braden Shen of St. Louis went over and chatted with his goaltender a little bit. Just gave him a little pep talk, a little slap to the pads.
That's what leaders do, and that's why Braden Shen's the captain.
2-1 Penguins, over 5 minutes gone. Here's Blake Lizotte into St. Louis's zone, sends a wrister from the far half wall that Hofer absorbs easily. Quickly drops it and pushes it ahead to his teammates. The Blues break it out through the neutral zone. Penguins take it away, though. Chris Letang with a rink-wide pass that missed Ryan Shea. He tries to race away from Mayu, rather Snuggerud, and still able to get it over to Letang on the near side, now pulled out by St. Louis. Here is the captain, Braden Shen. Near side, he gets stripped to the puck by Connor Dewar. Wrister that hits Dylan Holloway in front of the net. The Penguins try to clear it out. Tumbling puck at the point, kept alive by Tucker. He'll swing it around the boards as it slows down behind Tristan Jarry. Ryan Shea picks it up. Snaps it up ahead of the neutral zone, jumps off the skate of Connor Dewar, and the Blues send it back into the Penguins' end. Letang looking to keep it alive at the near half wall. Shen's got it. His centering pass broken up by Malkin. Blues take it back. Tucker sends it deep. Over to the far half wall. Dewar pokes at it from the half boards and gets it out to center ice where it's picked up by Tucker. Snapped over to Kyrou. He'll pitch it back to Tucker for the Blues. He lifts it up into the air. Tristan Jarry, outstretched glove, makes a low glove hand and drops it down to Parker Wotherspoon. Kicked over to Carlson, near side, takes it into the Blues zone. Found himself in the middle of too much traffic, though, as St. Louis strips the puck, sends it the other way, all the way down to the Penguins' end, and that'll be icing. 13:29 to go in this first. Penguins with a 2-1 lead over St. Louis.
Was a former Penguin, second-round pick, Oscar Sundqvist. Too much on that one there. Mentioned the Blues will head back to St. Louis to take on Detroit Red Wings tomorrow night, while the Penguins will jump on a plane, head across the state to take on the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, this is the first half of back-to-backs for both these teams, and their first set of back-to-backs for both these teams.
Kind of raised the question of, curious how the Penguins will handle Harrison Brunick and Ben Kendall in back-to-back situations.
Big time. Brunick back in the lineup after having 2 days off. Kendall just had Saturday off. Here's a shot that Jarry's able to freeze with 13:13 to go in the first. Penguins a 2-1 lead over the St. Louis Blues here in Pittsburgh. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
We celebrate the brave, the powerful, pink ribbon wearers and supporters who turn the fear and uncertainty of a breast cancer diagnosis into strength and hope. At UPMC, we're here to support you with screenings, compassionate experts, and innovative therapies, because we know that sometimes you just need someone by your side through every step of the journey. Learn more at upmc.com/breast cancer awareness.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Face Off inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm scared of you guys.
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face Off inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
Hey, Pens fans, be sure to come out here to PPG Paints Arena for Pittsburgh Night, presented by U.S. Steel on November 6th against the Washington Capitals. Join your favorite mascots from around the city and celebrate all things Pittsburgh. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com. He's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. Penguins lead the Blues 2-1 in this first period. 13-13 left in it. Penguins scored on their first 2 shots. St. Louis got one back off the stick of Nick Bjugstad as the Penguins ice it down.
I was a little disappointed when I heard there was going to be Joe Hofer in that. Not because of him. I wanted to see Jordan Binnington.
Sure.
Because there's been some fireworks between Binnington and the Penguins. He is a fiery, emotional goaltender. He'll get the nod tomorrow night, as I mentioned, at home against the Winged Wheel.
Hofer making his 4th career appearance against the Pens. Binnington has played in 9 games against the Penguins in his career. These 2 teams will wrap up their season series all the way to April. The April 12th is we're going to get a penalty here, and it's going to be on the Penguins. And Tommy Novak with a high stick is going to send the Penguins shorthanded for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they're going to check St. Louis forward Alexei Tovchenko to see if he is cut. Here's your call if it's 2 or if it's 4.
Pittsburgh 18-2 is for high sticking.
It's a deuce. Just real quick on Jarry and Hofer, that was the goaltenders of record the last time these 2 teams played. Remember that game towards the end of the season in April when Rutger McGroarty scored his first NHL goal in the dying seconds to tie it up to send us to overtime, and then it was Robert Thomas with a power play goal with Chris Letang in the box for slashing. Thomas was the hero in that game. OT dub, 4-3 final.
Ville Koivunen had the primary assist on McGroarty's goal. And that was a big moment because both those guys were on the ice when Penguins had pulled their goalie.
Yeah, first goal for McGroarty.
Oh, yeah.
First point for Koivunen. That's pretty cool.
Koivunen went on a tear. 7 assists to end the season. Still looking for his first point this year. Again, he's playing in just his 3rd game. Meanwhile, 25 seconds gone in the Penguins PK after the Tommy Novak high sticking penalty. St. Louis with the puck in the Penguins zone along the near wall. Carlson fishes it out and flips it down the length of the ice. Hofer out of his net to stop it on the far side. Slings it off the far board. Stewart being a nuisance out there for Sundqvist, who has to send it back deep.
Hofer loves to play the puck. He's very, very adventurous. And let's see if the Penguins can maybe force him into a mistake.
Yeah, it cost him earlier this year against the Chicago Blackhawks. Penguins clear it on down. 1 minute left to go on the Tommy Novak penalty.
He loves to play it so much. A few years ago, he scored a goalie goal in the playoffs in the American League against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins. Look out.
Here comes a shot off the near post. Pia Suter draws iron on the power play. 43 seconds to go on the Penguins penalty kill. The Blues keep it alive. It's Fowler, high slot to Pia Suter, bottom of the near circle. Kicks it over to the far wall for Braden Shen. He flips it up to Fowler. Back over to Snuggerud. Couldn't get a drag shot as Chris Letang got in the way. Snuggerud centering pass. Pia Suter on the doorstep, but it was kept out. Now an errant pass by the Penguins up to Texier. He wrists it wide. Over to the near corner. Penguins try to crank it out. They can't. Fowler keeps it alive at the point to Texier. In the circle. Cruises in, shoots. Off the post again.
Same side, blocker side. There's not going to be any red paint left on that iron if the Blues keep this up.
Rebound rolled out to the neutral zone. St. Louis back in the Penguins and far circle shot. That may have kissed the post.
Oh, the shooting gallery, Batman. Look out.
There's a stretch pass ahead to Tommy Novak. Out of the box. Rolling puck. He shoots off the post.
Of course. Big Ben strikes 3.
St. Louis draws iron 3 straight times, and the Penguins nearly with an opportunity on a cherry-picking pass for Tommy Novak, fresh out of the box, and he hits the near post. So we play on 2-1 Penguins lead, 10.5 to go in this first. As the puck goes rolling out into the Blues end, raced down by Colton Parayko. Flipped over to the near side by St. Louis. They out to center ice. Quickly, it's taken by Matt Dumba. He's back in the lineup, paired up with Harrison Brunick tonight. Now flipped over to Nathan Walker, who plays it off the far boards to Colton Parayko. Broberg now over the Penguins line. Shuttles it down to the near corner, scooped off the boards by Dumba. Errant pass, though. It goes right to Jordan Kyrou. Near circle, centering pass, wrister. Holloway can't get it through the traffic. It goes over to the far corner. Now a snap pass cross ice is right to the stick of Evgeny Malkin, who chips it out to center ice. Blues send it deep again, but taken away by Malkin in the neutral zone. Curls around in his own end, feeds Mantha. He has the game-deciding goal at the moment. Again, 9.5 to go in this first period still. Penguins send it deep into the Blues end. Falk with a half-hearted pass over to the far side. Mantha got it over to the near boards, but it's taken away by Holloway of St. Louis. He sends it all the way down to the Penguins' end. That'll be icing. 9:22 to go in this first. Penguins lead 2-1.
Not too late to play Powerball. Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $358 million. Yeah, that's tonight. $358 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer, or you can play online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds, it benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
I want to know what the odds are on 4 straight posts in a hockey game in a row.
Probably similar to the Powerball odds.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yep.
Fight for the puck in the near corner. Koivunen can't get it up along the wall. It's taken out by St. Louis. Jordan Kyrou pitchforks it down into the Penguins' end. Jari back skating out of his net. He'll slow it down behind the cage and leave it for Erik Karlsson. Up ahead to Wotherspoon. Dumps it into the Blues' end. Around the boards as Hofer's out of his net to try and play it. Couldn't. But over to the far side it goes. Penguins trying to keep it alive. Fight for the puck. It's taken by Matthew Joseph. He'll send it deep. Pushed forward on a one-handed attempt up to Fowler. He can't clear it out, though. Swung around the boards to Wotherspoon. Kept alive at the point. Deep Kindle. He let it ride over to the near side. Fowler scoops it off the boards. Plays it up ahead of the neutral zone. Sundqvist's pass gets taken away by Karlsson. Dumped back into the Penguin zone, though. Now over to Matthew Joseph along the far wall. Brother of former Penguin P.O. Joseph. Spit over to the near side. Tucker at the point. He sends it deep. Back around the boards. Sundqvist behind Jari's net. Sandwich around a couple of black sweaters, but still squeaks out to Joseph. Now a wrister coming, doesn't get through traffic. Up in the slot, it rolls over to the point. Tucker taps it deep. Back up to Tucker at the point. Along the blue line, he slings it over to the far side. Parayko. He cranks it around the boards, where it's swooped away by Erik Karlsson in behind Jari's net. Penguins need a change. They'll get it. They lead 2-1 with 8 minutes to go in this first.
Karlsson's knocking on 2-minute shift here.
He's just holding on to the puck right now. Well, he sends it up ahead to Philip Hollander, who's on the top line with Sid and Brian Rust. Hollander, U-turn at the near half wall. Went for a centering pass to Rust and missed everyone. St. Louis takes it the other way into the Penguin zone, but they're offside as the Penguins break up the pass. 7:43 to go in this first period. Penguins working with a 2-1 lead over the St. Louis Blues. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Now through October 31st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB Postseason Heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. You must be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
Under review. And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
you missed the first minute of this hockey game, the Penguins grabbed a 2-0 lead on their first 2 shots. But the St. Louis Blues were able to answer back with 1 goal. It's 2-1 Pens, 7:43 to go in this first period.
Pretty impressive, actually, the way the St. Louis Blues have kind of righted the ship when early on it looked like they were about to go down. And again, that goal by Nick Bjugstad has given them life.
Here's Crosby trying to muscle the puck through the slot. He was surrounded by a couple of Blues, though. Still keeps it alive as Chris Letang just whiffed on a dumping attempt. Still able to send it deep down to the corner. Fight for the puck along the boards. It slowly rolls to the far side. Ryan Shea hustles it down. Got it up in the air. Parayko knocked it down out of midair. This one goes out of play, though.
It went off the glass, maybe. The referee is kind of slapping his 2 hands, one down, one up, to kind of say it deflected off of something, either a stick, a body, or the glass.
Basically informing everyone that it's not a penalty. So we're going to face off to the right of Joel Hofer. Crosby will take the draw against Nick Bjugstad. Crosby sitting on 1,698 career points.
Sid gets waved here.
Brian Russ will take over in the face-off circle. Now Sid switches with Philip Hollander on the hash marks. Sid going over to the far side along the wall. Drop of the puck, and St. Louis controls. Justin Falk snapping it up ahead of the neutral zone. St. Louis Blues send it deep as Jari swings it over to the far side. Didn't get all that he wanted on it, though. But it stays loose in behind the goal line, pulled up by Hollander. He brings it to the near side. Backhand chips it out to the neutral zone. Sid takes a rolling puck over to the far circle on the Blues end. Pass intended for Ryan Shea was broken up by Walker. It goes out to the Penguins end. Luckily, Hollander's able to get there to sweep it out of harm's way. Send rink wide to Letang and the near boards. And it back over to Shea as the Penguins get a change. Pens lead 2-1 with 6:40 to play here in the first period. First half of a back-to-back. Penguins will be in Philadelphia tomorrow night. Get their first look at the Flyers. I should say Rick Tockett's Philadelphia Flyers. This one is chipped out to the neutral zone, but Harrison Brunick races it down in the Penguins' end. Over to Matt Dumba. Sent up ahead of the far side. Malkin with a stretch pass to Brazeau. Takes it into the Blues end. He's outnumbered, though. Sends it deep to the corner. He is Suter fighting for the puck against Malkin. Gets it over to Mantha. Far circle. Up to Dumba. He wrists one. Saved by Hofer. Rebound to the far corner. Dumba plays it. Snaps it over to Brunick. Above the near circle. He wrists one. In and out of the glove of Hofer. And Snuggerud will sweep it over to the far side and clear it down to the Penguins' end.
What a shot that was from Harrison Brunick. That's a defenseman. That's from a good 35, 38 feet away. Little curl and drag into his body, and he absolutely ripped it. Had so much on it. Hofer couldn't handle it. Just hit his glove and then popped out to his right.
Harrison Brunick with one career NHL goal. The Blues are back in the Penguin zone. Wotherspoon breaks up a centering pass as they fight for the puck in the near corner. It's pulled away by Carlson. They'll bring it up through the neutral zone. Chip it over to Dewar. Missed him, though. The far side, Parayko swats it back over to the Penguins, and Wotherspoon chases this down. It's icing. 5:22 to go in the first. Penguins lead 2-1.
It's strange how this game is. You can have absolute chaos in the first part of this hockey game, and the Penguins go up 2-0. I mean, we weren't even a minute in, Joe. I mean, people that didn't even have their frosty beverages in their seats yet.
Or at least
55 seconds.
Their second frosty beverage.
Oh, their second frosty beverage. 55 seconds in, the Penguins are up 2-0, but things have really settled in here with 5:15 left in the first period. Penguins up 2-1.
By the way, Brian Rust helping out all milkshake lovers. Second straight day he's cashed in on the Penguins fans, earning half price off Rusty Shakes. Here's Blake Lizotte with a shot, can't get it. As down to a knee went Mayu to break that pass off. Now a tough errant pass coming from Wotherspoon to Carlson. Penguins are offside. With 5 minutes to go in the first period. Penguins lead 2-1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins with a 2-1 lead over the St. Louis Blues. We've got 5 minutes to play in this first period. And the Pens jumped out to a 2-0 lead on their first 2 shots on goal. In the first minute, Brian Rust picking up his 2nd goal of the season. Anthony Mantha picking up his 5th of the year, and he's now scored in back-to-back games. Nick Bjugstad getting on the board for the Blues. That's where we stand. Face off at the far right dot in front of the Blues bench, and St. Louis wins it. They quickly get it up ahead, but it missed the stick of Nathan Walker. They wave off icing, though, as it's rolled along the near wall. Raced down by Bjugstad. One-timer Tucker, redirection in front. Jari keeps it out, and he gets steered wide to the near corner.
Wow, how did he make that save on that deflection by Walker? And I think either Walker or Torpenchenko got a good whack at the rebound, too, and Jari, with a double stack of pancakes, made that save also.
Carlson now takes it over the Blues line, gets it to Kindle at the point. He's able to get a very short pass off, but the Penguins unable to keep hold of it. Here come the Blues in the Penguins' end. It's Shen near circle. Rister centering pass. They score. It's Kyrou. Blasted towards the slot as Shen broke away, had some space at the near circle, and was able to feed Kyrou in front. And all of a sudden, the Blues have tied up this game 2-2 with 4:17 to play in the first.
And thus goes Erik Karlsson. We talked about how brilliant the pass it was to Brian Rust. And now he burps one up and it ends up in the back of his net. Can the Penguins challenge to see if this was offside?
I guess
to see if the Penguins were offside. As Karlsson was dancing on the blue line right now, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you challenge it the other way? To say, no, we were offside.
I'm guessing you can't. But I'm with you, because when I said a very short pass, I was surprised to see Kindle give it to Karlsson, who was just a few feet away.
And Karlsson tried to do too much with players right in his grill. And he turns it over and it gets rammed in the back of the net by Kyrou.
The exciting start for the Penguins gets evened up by the Blues. 3:45 to play in this first, as the Penguins will send it down for icing. But they'll take it. St. Louis was threatening once again in the Penguin zone.
Tough to play the game at the NHL level. I know Erik Karlsson has 3 Norris trophies, but you almost feel like it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back when you play that way. At the end of the night, they're going to show that incredible pass that he made to Brian Rust. But here we are in the first period, and he just turns one right over to Shen. And it gets rammed down your throat to make it 2-2.
Karlsson now even so far in this game. Under 3:30 to go in this first period, tied up at 2. Sent up ahead to Brian Rust in the neutral zone, takes it over the Blues line, gets it to Malkin near circle, drags it, shoots it wide. He was tied up by one of the Blues. Ryan Shea chips it down, pawed down by Malkin. He tries to keep it alive in the circle. He gets tangled up with Shen this time down to the ice. Now loose puck is taken by Justin Falk. He'll snap it up ahead to Kyrou in the neutral zone. He slings it rink wide to Broberg into the Penguin zone. Cuts through, but he got stripped by Harrison Brunick. Now the Penguins take it away. Malkin near side of the neutral zone. And they swat it down to the Blues end, but it's quickly gloved down. Now sent up ahead. Here's Broberg. Rather, Texier. Shot on net. A save by Jari. Loose puck still, and it goes wide of the net.
Oh, my goodness. Dumba scrambling in behind his goaltender as that puck leaked through Tristan Jari. Sat in the blue paint. I thought because as frantic as Dumba was, he almost put it into his own net. Yay.
2:30 to go, and the Blues seem to be really cooking here. Here's a centering pass. Saved by Jari. As it was almost redirected in by Matthew Joseph. Blues with speed on the far side into the Penguins' end, but Jari keeps it out to keep it tied 2-2.
Well, we're back to square. As I mentioned, the Penguins come out guns a-blazing and go up 2-0 in the first minute. And ever since the goal by Bukestad, the majority of the chances have been for the St. Louis Blues. And Tristan Jari already in this period. I know the shots just say 7, but you feel like the chances have been greater than the 7 shots on goal for the Blues here. And we still have 2:26 to go in the first frame.
And again, the Blues drew iron 3 times on that power play.
Good point.
Now to the neutral zone, it's fought for. Chip back into the Penguins' end. Wotherspoon over to Carlson. He snaps it rink wide as Connor Dewar with a quick, nifty play to make sure he got it deep into the Blues' end. Hofer out of his net, plays it over to the far side, maybe to the surprise of his intended target of Mayu. Now broken away. Dewar picks up the loose puck in the Blues' end near corner. Cuts in behind the net, brings it over to the far side, then slings it down around the boards up to the near wall. Erik Karlsson can't keep it alive, out of the reach of Nola Chari. He'll have to settle it down in the neutral zone. Under 2 minutes to play in this first period. We're tied up at 2. Wotherspoon glazes it into the neutral zone, now curls around. Snaps it over to Karlsson. Still in the Penguins' end. Pushed up ahead to Hollander. Now Crosby will shovel it deep into the Blues' end near corner. Played off the wall by Parayko on the far side. Up ahead to Snuggerud. His pass gets redirected out of play. 1:24 to go in this first period. A 2-2 tie between the Pens and Blues.
Both goals, partner, are almost identical. Player coming down the left side of the ice to the right of Tristan Jari. And the Penguins don't play the 2-on-1 correctly. Backdoor, no chance for Tristan Jari, so you can't blame Jari on either one of those goals. In fact, if not for Tristan Jari, maybe... Whoa!
Chris Letang wrists one just off the shoulder of Hofer. Penguins keep it alive in the Blues' end. Shea to Russ, whipped on a wrister. Second attempt, kicked out of there by Hofer.
Great effort by Russ. He whiffed on the first one. As he was falling down, he still got a shot away, low and hard, and Hofer had to be really quick with the right pad.
Swung around the boards to the far side. Crosby in the corner. He reached the final minute of this first period. Tied up at 2. Centering pass. Now the puck's loose. Shea sweeps it over to the far wall. Crosby plays it off the boards. Another centering pass. Russ trying to dig it home, and Hofer stays on top of it. Keeps it tied at 2 with about 50 seconds to play in this first period.
Well, at this rate of trading quality chances back and forth, we might have a 8, 9, 10 goal game, Joe. Hope you're ready to go. I know you got to go tomorrow night too, so don't empty the tank here completely.
That's what tea and cough drops and gum are for.
Yeah, this game it's got a weird texture to it.
Wrister from the far point rattles around, gets it to Letang near half wall. Here's a shot from Mantha. That doesn't get through traffic. 40 seconds to go in this first period as the Blues bring it down the other way, drop it into the Penguins' end. As it slowly rolls to the far side for Karlsson. He sends it up ahead to Letang. Now to Malkin over the Blues line. Cuts towards the slot. Didn't really have a good handle of it, though. The Blues break it up and chip it out to the neutral zone. Malkin, meanwhile, tees it back into the Blues end around the boards to the far corner. Falk smashed into the boards by Mantha. Malkin comes swarming in looking for the puck, but didn't come away with it. 13 seconds to go as the Penguins have it in the neutral zone. Chipped out to Wotherspoon. He'll take his time with it. 8 seconds to go. Now to Brazeau in between the penalty boxes. He'll just softly dump it into the Blues end, and that'll do it for the first period. So the Penguins scored 2 goals on the first 2 shots. Brian Rust, 39 seconds into the contest. And then Anthony Mantha before the opening minute had concluded. But the St. Louis Blues fight back. They get a goal from Nick Bjugstad and then another one from Jordan Kyrou. And after 20 minutes, it's a 2-2 tie.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing that you come out that way in a team that we thought that was fragile. No Thomas, no Neighbors, and a bit of a fragile team, and the Penguins take full advantage early on, and that's a shame, man, because the way that the Blues were able to manufacture their goals were Penguin breakdowns. You almost felt like the Penguins kind of beat themselves a little bit there on those 2 goals against. They got to tighten it up defensively. Early on in the season, that's the one thing that I was really looking forward to, and I think was really evident for the Penguins, is their attention to detail defensively and knowing that if we do this, we can still generate offense. And I think that's been lacking here a little bit, especially in the latter half of that first period.
Brian Metzer just popped into the booth. He'll have the first intermission report for us as the Penguins and Blues are tied at 2 through 20. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com or an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Our Penguins Pledge champion partners PPG, US Steel, EQT, Wesco, Indra Energy, and Coca-Cola are all committed to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge. This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report, where the Penguins and Blues are tied at 2 after one period of play here at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and it started like gangbusters for the Black and Gold as they scored 2 goals on their first 2 shots of the evening. Brian Rust got the first one just 39 seconds in off of a beautiful pass by Erik Karlsson. Hollander was the second assist on that one. And just moments later, Anthony Mantha finished off a beautiful pass by Evgeny Malkin at, it was 55-second mark, his 5th of the season. Brazeau, the secondary assist on that one. Unfortunately, the Blues would get a goal on their second shot of the night when Nick Bjugstad would finish off a Walker pass. Tucker got the second assist on that one. It was Harrison Brunick pinched a little bit, couldn't get back, make the defensive play. Bjugstad was fed going hard to the net, and he put that in. Blues would get another one off of a turnover by Erik Karlsson at his own blue line. They come into the zone and set up Jordan Kyrou going to the net at 15:43, his 3rd of the year from Schenn and Holloway. The Penguins did get themselves a penalty that they had to kill. Tommy Novak went for high sticking. They were able to kill that one off. Shots on goal in the period, 10-9 in favor of the Pens. When we come back, Hockey Talk with the great Josh Yohe from The Athletic. He joins me next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Go to the Getaway Bar and Grill for $3 16-ounce Labatt Blue Light drafts during all Pens games.
Here they come over the neutral zone to Rust. He shoots, he scores! Brian Rust with the goal. And you know what that means, folks? Rusty Shakes half off from Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Rust here letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
Gluten-free, check. Keto-friendly, check. Low-carb, check. High-protein, check. Nitrate-free, check. Flavorful and satisfying, check. When you want a meat snack that checks all the boxes, try the original Mr. Donair Beef Jerky and Sticks. With 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories, it's beef jerky like no other. Mr. Donair, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now available on Amazon.
Oh, did you not see that insane play? Why are you on your phone right now?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the next move for my business.
Sounds like you can use an extra player on your team.
Yeah, like a business power play.
Well, whenever I use S&T Bank, it feels like they're my team of experts ready to help me score big. You should talk to a banker at S&T to learn more and get all the benefits of having an extra player on the ice.
When it's time to set up a winning strategy, S&T Bank will get you in the game. Stop by a branch today or visit stbank.com/PensRadio to learn more. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins and Blues knotted at 2 after one period of play in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer back here with you and now joined by Josh Yohe from The Athletic. Josh, welcome back. And first shot, first goal, 2 games in a row, but it was for the Penguins. That's always a nice thing.
Mets, I feel a little rattled after watching that first period. That was a very strange, disjointed 20 minutes of hockey. It was not
That's
boring.
a good way to say it, yeah.
3 goals right off the bat. Of course, 2 from the Penguins. I don't know that the Penguins played all that well that period.
No.
And sometimes when you take a quick lead like that, I don't know, bad habits maybe creep in. They got a little cute, I think, maybe a little relaxed. Just a strange period of hockey.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be the flying trapeze kind of night,
yes.
and unfortunately played that way the rest of the period. And I mean, what's going on these last? And I know that the personnel has changed a little bit over the last 3 games or so, but what is going on with the defensive attention to detail? It's kind of gone. There's a lot of sloppy play breaking out, and at the blue lines in particular.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect them to play like they did in the Garden in the season opener every night. There's going to be lapses. Against Florida, I don't know that there were a lot of bad plays or decisions. They were just back on their heels against a great hockey team, right?
Yeah.
And still found a way to win. Columbus, I just didn't love their game. They were sloppy. You're right, and tonight is more of the same. We haven't seen those turnovers in the first few games of the year. That's been, I think, the biggest difference this season compared to last. How many times last season, Mets, did we say, geez, that's like 5 2-on-1s that period. What's going on?
Yeah,
we're not to that point yet, but there's certainly been too much of that in the first 20 minutes tonight.
Well, early in the season, I think that was the one thing that was the biggest difference for me from last year. The odd man rushes were cleaned up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting to me that we've seen a lot in these 2 games after Dan Muse talked just ahead of the Columbus game about transition, fast, speedy forwards. Tonight I'm seeing that again. Transition by the Blues. They're getting the 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s off the rush.
And we've seen some, we have for sure. And also, listen, I love Erik Karlsson and Chris Letang. When they're on the ice together, that can be a great thing.
Yeah,
it can also be a bad thing. And we saw that it was on the first goal. They were both on the ice together in the middle of a change. Things get a little wild when the speed limit just goes up when those guys are on the ice. It's the way it is. Brunick hasn't played in a few games. He didn't have a very good period. He looked his age a little bit, I thought, in that period.
Yes.
He got Dumba playing on the left side, which is still kind of a new thing to him. So I think maybe you add all that up, that could explain some of what we saw.
we're seeing in the final minute of this segment here, Josh, we're seeing the injuries start to pop up.
Yeah.
How do you see that affecting this team moving into the future?
Well, listen, Rickard Rakell's a great hockey player. You don't just replace 35 goals in your lineup. That certainly was a tough blow. They've been pretty healthy up until then, so that's unfortunate. The one thing, if you want to look at it this way, listen, if they get a power play tonight, I presume they will, we're going to get to see Ben Kindle maybe working on the top unit. That's going to be fun.
Yep. We
get to see Koivu and Hallander in even bigger roles. So much of the season, it's all about the young guys, right? And there's an excitement in the fan base getting to see these young players. And guess what? You don't like to see Raquel go down, but that's an opening for somebody to take advantage of, no question.
Yeah, door swinging wide open for a young player to take advantage of the situation. Josh, we'll return here in a moment for some more conversation. Yeah, it's awesome. The big change this year. So stick with us here because more with Josh Yohe next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It used to be Ready, Set, Go.
And what is it now? Say it again.
Now it's Ready, Set, 4!
Wow, the blue oval. That's what it is. Hey, that worked. Teach me how to shoot.
It's not that hard.
Did you ever have a goal?
I actually had one hat trick.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Madison Square Garden.
So you, Phil Bork, had a hat trick.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Selection, savings, and best price guaranteed.
Because that's who we are. It's who we are and what we do, Phil.
SchultzFord.com.
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 Yeehaw.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common app. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
It is the Penguins and Blues tied at 2 after one period of play. Here I'm talking with Josh Yohe. Josh, you mentioned the young guys right when we were ending our last segment. What have you seen from Philip Hallander on the top line through that first period? I know there weren't a ton of chances for him, but involved on the first goal.
Yeah, he did pick up a helper on the first goal. You know what I like about him, Mets? Like, he just always goes to the right place. He plays a very simple game. There's nothing flashy about him. I don't know that he projects as a top-line guy. I don't know that his wheels or his skill level are that high. But he does all the little things right. The more I watch him, the more I appreciate his game. And Sid might like playing with him. He doesn't like guys who are east-west and get a little fancy. He doesn't always like that. So I thought he was fine in that period. This game just has no flow at all.
No.
It's hard to get a read on how anybody's playing right now.
What do you do as a team, do you think, to pull into some sort of flow for your own group anyway?
Well, we've seen the Penguins. They've been so good all year at just holding on to pucks and getting more puck possession. They're getting too cute in the neutral zone. I trust me, I'm not some old school dump and chase guy, but I think this
it's okay to do it sometimes.
I'd like to see them just get the puck deep in this game a little bit and go to work on the forecheck. I think the Blues defensemen are susceptible to that right now, and the Penguins are trying to stick handle through people a little too much. I think I sound like a coach saying this, but I think some old-fashioned hard work might serve them well, because I'm telling you, this Blues team is vulnerable. They blew a 4-0 lead in Detroit the other day. Just go to work and you might win this one.
How about a quick thought on Koivunen coming back up? I know he had a whirlwind night, scoring an overtime winner, getting here, and now he's in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll play at a higher level than he did the first couple of games here. It was only a couple of games. I don't think he was comfortable on Sid's line.
Yep.
He's not there tonight. We'll see, but I give him credit. He went down to Wilkes-Barre and he dominated just the way you want to see him dominate. 11 points in 6 games. I really like this kid. He's going to be a good NHL player. Hasn't really had the puck much tonight, but I want to see he and Kindle together. It should be fun.
I'm looking forward to it, too. That is Josh Yohe. Great stuff with him. Joe Brand and Phil Bork have second period action next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Do you pretend to understand tax codes and things like, I don't know, adjusted gross income? Want to casually drop terms like macroeconomic headwinds? And actually know what they mean? Tune to the SiriusXM business channels. They break down stuff like tariffs and trade policy. Get the latest on inflation, the economy, and taxes. Everything from Wall Street to Washington. From career advice or learning about ETFs. Seriously, what are those? The SiriusXM business channels can help. Starting at channel 112 and on the SiriusXM app. Just search business.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Everything is better on ice.
It scores through the legs. He's done.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Second period about to begin here in Pittsburgh. The Penguins and the Blues tied up at 2 as both teams are on their first half of a back-to-back. First back-to-back for the Penguins this year. They'll be in Philadelphia tomorrow. The Blues will be back home hosting the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow. We've still got 40 minutes to play, and who knows, Borky, maybe a whole lot more offense. The Penguins score on their first 2 shots in the first period. St. Louis comes back. But this Blues team has been playing in a lot of high-scoring games early on this year.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, I would say, yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of goals by both teams here. But I certainly hope not. I hope the Penguins had a little chit-chat between periods and reminding each other that we got to tighten up. We got to play better defensively. And I think deep down they know that that's the blueprint to win. It's hard, man. It's hard to play that way every single night, to be so committed as a group to the defensive side of the puck. Your instincts tell you, go, 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 score, score, score. But if the Penguins want to win on a consistent basis, I know they can do it. They did it earlier this season. Get back to defense-first hockey.
And coming into this game, the Penguins top 10 in goals per game and goals allowed per game. Now this top line steals the puck away, but the Blues take it back in their own end. We're underway in the second period. Penguins attacking now from right to left in their home black sweaters. The St. Louis Blues attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters. Tristan Jarry still in net for the Penguins. Joel Hofer still in net for the Blues. Here's Hollander, a drive sent it wide as Hofer was playing the puck. Almost didn't get back there in time. Now Crosby with it, snaps it up to Carlson at the point. He can't keep it alive though. Rolls right past him, and Jarry comes out of his net to play it because the guy that was closest to it was Pavel Buchnevich.
Good decision. No hesitation by Jarry to get outside his blue paint and play that puck.
Opening face-off to begin this second period is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. We're tied at 2. Just begun this second period. Penguins back in the Blues end. Mantha down low to Malkin at the corner. Centering pass to Shea off the bench. He's in the high slot. Now takes it over to the near circle. Down to the corner. He makes a U-turn. Plays it up to Malkin, who snaps it over to the far side for Chris Letang. Far circle. Centering pass to Brazeau on the doorstep. Never got a handle of it. Blues try to sweep it out, but they can't just yet. Brazeau keeps it alive at the point. Nathan Walker with it now down to the corner. He's wrapped up by Brazeau, but Brazeau able to avoid a penalty. Here's Letang over to Shea in the near circle. A wrister blocked by Walker.
Really good block by Walker there. Shea got that off his stick quick, but Walker got down quicker.
Shea scoring in Saturday night's game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Just his first goal of the season. The Penguins take the puck away in their own end. A minute and a half gone in this second period. We're tied at 2. Here is Ryan Shea. Now over to Letang. Letang also with a goal Saturday night against Columbus. The Penguins scored 2 goals in the final 6 minutes against Columbus to tie the game. They ended up losing in the shootout, continuing their point streak to 5 straight games, but unable to continue the win streak. The Blues break up the puck in their own zone, played along the near wall. Kindle keeps it alive along the boards. Wrapped up by a couple of Blues. Novak in behind Hofer's net. Flips it over to the far side. Brunick plays it off the wall. Wrister. Pad save. Rebound out to the near side. Kindle couldn't handle it.
Good low hard shot there by Brunick. Not only a good chance to score, but also a good chance for tip, deflection, or rebound.
That's the second straight solid shot from Harrison Brunick. Unable to find the back of the net, though. Kept alive by Koivunen. Here's Brunick over to Dumbo one time, and that's wide of the net. Big bounce off the end board. Shen plays it, sends it deep, and the Blues are able to regroup. They pitch it up ahead, but they cough it up in the neutral zone to Brunick. Tied at 2 with almost 3 minutes gone in the second period. Blake Lizotte and the Penguins take it back over the Blues line. It's Dewar on the near half wall, sends it around the boards over to the far corner. Achari races it down, shovels it over to Wotherspoon. Sticks it to his state. Now over to the far circle. Tumbling puck swatted out of there by St. Louis. It rolls all the way down to the Penguins' end.
Brunick on his way to the bench. Quick button hook and stayed in. Didn't know which way that puck was going to go.
Penguins take control again. It's Brunick. Snapped up to Achari. He knifed it into the Blues' end far corner. Justin Falk tries to sweep it around the boards. Goes tumbling down and taken by St. Louis. Here's Oscar Sundqvist, the former Penguin. Batted out of there by Wotherspoon. Raced down
there by Wotherspoon.
Raced down by Texier as he'll drop it back down into the Penguins' end. Jari stops it with a stick. Carlson now up ahead to Lizotte through the neutral zone. Dumps it into the Blues' end. It jumps off the shelf and Hofer to play it once again. St. Louis now works it out of their zone. Up ahead on the near wall as Crosby tried to chip it to Hollander. Couldn't connect. Now Sid does take another loose puck. Hollander along the near boards. Shovels it over to Ryan Shea. He snaps it over to Chris Letang far side. Back to Shea in the neutral zone. Up ahead. Right on net as Hofer stops it with his stick. Flying laterally on the ground. And now it's played out by St. Louis. Tumbling puck into the Penguins' end. A racing Chris Letang sweeps it away from Buchnevich. Pass intended for Crosby. Missed the captain. It goes all the way down to the Blues' end. Icing by the Pens with over 4 minutes gone in this second period. We're tied at 2.
Well, building the future takes grit, and no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT.
Penguins now out shooting St. Louis 12-9. They're the only 2 shots on goal so far in the second period. St. Louis wins the draw in the Penguin zone, though. Kyrou to Parayko near circle. Drag shoots. Saved by Jari. And a second attempt. A sprawling save by Jari around the near post. Now a centering pass. That gets blocked. Jari's stick is in behind the net right now. As the Blues pull it out on the near side. Jari's got no stick. Walking the blue line, it's Fowler. Over to the far circle. Shot on net. Wide of the crease. And it rolls all the way down into the Blues' end. What a break.
What a break. That was Kyrou trying to go far post and in. Allowed Jari to now go get his stick. And that cleared the zone to allow the Penguins to get some fresh bodies out there.
5 minutes gone in the second period. We're tied up at 2. That's the best push from St. Louis in this second period. They held most of the momentum after the Penguins picked up the first 2 goals on their first 2 shots of the game. And now a pass up towards the high slot. Wasn't ready for Broberg. He had to settle it back down to the neutral zone. Back ahead to Falk. He's in the Penguin zone. Centering pass. Brunick stopping it. And a wide shot that just went wide of the crease from Bukestad.
And once again, Brunick there, but not there. As that puck hit his stick, but it's still, Brunick wasn't strong enough on the stick. It went right through his stick, right onto the stick of Nick Bukestad.
Brunick up ahead to Malkin. Jumped off his stick, though, and St. Louis takes it right back. Toropchenko dumps it down to the near corner. Brunick along the boards, kicks it over to the far side. Malkin racing after it. He was tied up with Walker. This is going to be a penalty. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Now Jari goes. The Penguins, 6-on-5 right now, a delayed penalty. First man advantage for them tonight. We're tied at 2 with 14 minutes to go in the second period. Now some time for the top line to get set. Now Mantha's into the Blues end, sends it around the boards, over to the far wall. Malkin leaves it for Carlson. Carlson at the point, snaps it over to Wotherspoon, near side. Delayed penalty in favor of the Penguins right now. High slot Carlson. Crosby, far circle, gets it down to Malkin, chips it over to Ville Koivunen at the near corner. Up to Wotherspoon. St. Louis still has yet to touch the puck. Crosby, far circle. Curls around, snaps it to Wotherspoon. Now up to Carlson above the circle, gets it to Sid, far circle. Now Wotherspoon, near side wrist, he scores! How about the composure from the Penguins? A delayed penalty that seemed like it took forever. And Parker Wotherspoon has his first goal with the Pens. It's a 3-2 lead.
What a shot. What a pass. Parker Wotherspoon with his second career goal, his first in 42 games, and it's a beauty. Joe, that's as good as I've seen a 6-on-5 on the delayed penalty in a long time. And you're right, the patience of Joe to hang on to the puck for almost eternity. Great decisions by the Penguins. I thought they were just going to throw it to the net and get the call and get on the power play, but no, they waited and waited. Carlson and Crosby were brilliant on that. They finally get it to Wotherspoon. He walks it in and goes top cheese over the glove. The Penguins have the lead back. It's now 3-2.
The makeup of that unit, too. A hybrid of both power play units, but, Wotherspoon isn't on either. But just a ton of confidence in that entire sequence. That was really something to marvel at. The Penguins back in front, a 3-2 lead. And they score for the first time since the opening minute of this game. As Hofer slides it over to the far side, coughed it over to Koivunen, but no other Penguins were around to help until now. Harrison Brunick down over to Blake Lazat, up to Dumba, high slot. Pumps it down to the corner. Connor Dewar plays it off the end wall. Swung over to the far side as Achari races after it. Kicks it up as it's idle in the corner and now pulled away by St. Louis. They'll chip it down into the Penguins' end. 12:20 to go in this second period. Penguins lead 3-2. Parker Wotherspoon with his first goal with the Pens. This one is sent down into the Blues' end. Hofer playing it again. Slings it around the far wall. Brunick couldn't keep it alive at the point. Now a loose puck raced after by Kyrou, but Dumba gets there first. He turns it over, though. Schenn keeps it alive in the Penguins' end. Poke check by Dumba. Loose puck in the far circle. Lazat goes falling down to the ice as he was tied up with Kyrou. Blues take it again. Fowler at the point. Down to Holloway at the far half wall. Takes it up to the point. Curls around. Now takes it down again. Centering past Parayko. Waits. Fires. Didn't get through traffic.
His own man.
Picked up by Kyrou at the corner. Now over to the far side. Holloway. Up to Cam Fowler. He had some trouble handling it. Has to recollect in the neutral zone. Penguins could use a change. Everybody's been out there for over a minute. They'll finally get a few fresh bodies. As St. Louis re-racks and enters into the Penguin zone off the touch of Holloway. And now it's pitched back out by the Pens. Dumped back into the Penguin zone. Around the boards over to the far side. Out of the reach of Brunick. Snuggerud's got it at the hash marks. Far side. Snaps it up. Falk drive. Big save by Jari. Up at the top of his crease, and he stopped. So one-timer, rather a slap shot from Justin Falk, keeps it 3-2 Penguins. 11:12 to go in the second period. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough. and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone. Whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
3-2 lead for the Penguins with 11:12 to go in the second period.
Mr. Brand, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
You and the National Hockey League. Now, on that Wotherspoon goal, it was 6-on-5 because it was a delay call to Nathan Walker. What I want to ask is, why is that penalty off the board now? Why doesn't it, you almost like, okay, there was a penalty, and just because you were able to pull the goaltender and get an extra attacker and score, does that mean it gets wiped off the board? Well, I think it should stay on the board.
Why does the penalty ever get wiped away when a team scores on the power play?
Well, you want it to be a 2-minute major. That's what you're saying.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Wow, that suggestion box is pretty full for the NHL.
I could be wrong, but I feel like they were experimenting this in the Women's League, where if you score a shorthanded goal, that erases your penalty. Here's a centering pass to Usnevich, hacking and whacking up, but it's broken away by Carlson.
Yikes.
A turnover by the Penguins in behind Jari's net. Yeah, just to quickly wrap up that thought, because I feel like in the Women's League, and then there's another European league, that even if you score on the power play, the penalty still continues.
Yeah.
You can't ice the puck down. And if you score a shorthanded goal on your penalty kill, that erases the penalty.
Interesting.
There's Wotherspoon, wrists one for the point, bangs off some traffic, goes over to the near corner. Now a tuck and try coming from Hallander. Penguins keep it alive, though. Stuffed out by Hofer. Wotherspoon brings it over to the far point. Backhand shovels it around the boards. Kicked over to the near wall to Mantha. Chipped over to Brunick. Far circle. Tries to cut around one defender. Gets it down low to Mantha. Actually missed him. Goes over to the near wall, and Brunick races after it. Now chipped back in behind the net. Fowler keeps it away from Evgeny Malkin. Now up top to Jimmy Snuggerud. Last time the Penguins saw him, he was playing in his second career NHL game. Dump back into the Blues end. Malkin's got it. Tried to set up a teed up Matt Dumba, just waiting to lay one up. And it was broken away by St. Louis. 9.5 to play in the second period. 3-2 the Penguins lead. Parayko at the far side shovels it away. Coughed up, taken by Malkin. He swats at it from the far circle, and Snuggerud's able to get it away to Parayko. Parayko chips it down into the Penguins end, played off the wall. Ryan Shea snaps it up ahead to Mantha. He's over the Blues line. He's waiting for one of his teammates. Flutters it, a centering shot, but Walker was first to get there, and Brazeau can't handle it on the far side. Now it's dished out to the neutral zone. Chris Letang gloves it down, but the Blues take it back. A little bit of a broken 2-on-1. Toropchenko fires. Glove save by Jari.
Huge. That's huge. Malfunction at the junction in the neutral zone between Kindle and Letang. And that 2-on-1 turned into a 2-on-2, and that is a confident save by Tristan Jari to keep it 3-2 Penguins. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, brought to you by S&T Bank. Tanger, man. It's an adventure out there. Good Lord, son. Oh, yeah, Kels.
They've been rotating it a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to do more of the...
Yeah.
We'll have to tell him to work on that.
Well, Price is Right.
I know, he did the Charlie Brown walk away. Yes.
Now through October 31st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 in the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB postseason heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. Just be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
8.5 to go in the second period. Here's Chris Letang. Pad save from Hofer. Loose puck in front of the crease. It's taken by St. Louis. A couple of big chances for the Blues. Now back into the Penguins end. Jumps off the stick of Kyrou as Shea scoops it off the near boards. Slows down, snaps it up ahead. Connor Dewars shovels it deep into the Blues end near corner as Tucker swats it up along the boards. And chip back into the Blues end. Taken by Matthew Joseph. They'll dump it into the Penguins and around the boards as Jari slows it down. Under 8 to go in the second period. Penguins grab a 3-2 lead on the goal from Parker Wotherspoon. As this one is snapped wide by Ben Kindle. Bounces off the wall and in the back of the cage. We got a delayed penalty here.
Novak.
This will be tripping.
This would be the shame for Tommy Novak right here. You don't like those penalties there. In the offensive zone, 200 feet from your own goal.
Pittsburgh 18, 2 minutes for tripping.
Appreciate the effort of Tommy Novak to get in on the puck, but just as he overskated the puck, he turned to quickly go for it and stick into the feet of Mailloux. Down goes Mailloux, off to the box goes Novak.
Pens are 1 for 1 on the PK so far tonight. St. Louis coming into this game with the 10th best power play in the league, and Blues win the draw in the Penguins' end. It's Fowler along the blue line over to Holloway, rather Snuggerud, far half wall. He fires a wrister and a save by Jari. Rebound tumbles out to the near boards. Dumped down to the corner. Blues fighting for it, as are the Penguins. Pulled away by Texier. He gets it over to Fowler. Walks the blue line. High slot. Snaps it over to Shen above the near circle. Far circle now for Snuggerud, who's airborne. He had to paw it down. Shen, a one-timer pad save, Jari. Rebound over to the near corner. Pitched up into the air, now falling down to the ice. Fowler's got it. He takes it to the high slot. Deeks with the puck, now down over to the far circle for Snuggerud. Back up to Fowler. Now over to Shen. Far circle. Downstairs to the corner for Suter at the goal line. Centering pass up to Fowler. Wrister doesn't get through. Now it does. Trickles. Saved by Jari. Loose puck to the far side. Russ kicks it over to the far wall, but it's kept alive by Fowler. Now the far circle. Shot fired wide of the net. And the rebound rolls all the way down to the neutral zone into the Blues' end. Penguins can get a change with a minute to go on their PK.
We saw that from Kyrou earlier in this period. And that time it was Snuggerud. Right-hand shot on the one-timer side, offside, where they try to go far post and in. And they missed that far post, and it's a break for the Penguins.
40 seconds to go on the Penguins PK, and now a clear by Chris Letang. Out to the neutral zone. Buchnevich quickly picks it up, dumps it down into the Penguins' end near corner. Chris Letang again cranks it around the boards. This time it stopped at the half wall. On the far side, chipped over. Kyrou downstairs, centering pass. Sundqvist near circle. Caught the puck on edge. He has to settle it down above that near circle. Down to Hollowell. Up top now to Falk. Walks the blue line with 15 to go on the Penguins PK. Sundqvist far circle, slammed into the boards by Chris Letang, pulled away by Buchnevich, and now Ryan Shea will clear it on down, all the way down to the Blues' end.
That's a really strong play by Ryan Shea. You needed a clear. You needed somebody strong on the stick because Buchnevich was all over Ryan Shea, and he just really got the grip on the stick and got her down 200.
Tommy Novak's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins lead 3-2 with 5.5 to play. Now Toropchenko crashing towards the net, but stripped off it from Harrison Brunick.
Brunick was beat on that play, and somehow he reached around Toropchenko and stripped him of the puck. That's a brilliant play by a 19-year-old defenseman.
Penguins with the puck, back in the Blues' end. Fight for it along the near wall. It's lost to the high slot. Brunick chips it forward, getting it to Sid. Far circle. Crosby curls around at the point. Gets it to Brunick again, playing it off the wall. To Hollander. To Crosby in the high slot. Snapped over to Brunick above the far circle. He risks one, doesn't get through traffic. As Koivunen whiffed on a rebound attempt. Brunick still with it. Coughed it up to Toropchenko.
No, you can't do that. Spinorama, backhand D-to-D pass at the blue line. Maybe you can get away with that in junior. Not in the NHL. Harrison Brunick, very lucky there.
5 minutes to go in the second period. Penguins lead the Blues 3-2. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Kimberly-Clark Professional is proud to be a champion sustainability partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Together, they are driving change to help reduce impact through a commitment to sustainable products and services. Learn more at kcprofessional.com/sustainability.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or one expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Penguins lead 3-2. 4:54 left in the second period. Shots on goal in favor of St. Louis right now, 17-15.
Boy, Tristan Jarry. He's dialed in again, man. He's dialed in. The two goals against him are both backdoor tap-ins. He's made some really key saves. Well, that one right up there. That's friendly fire right there. What a save that was, Joe.
Evgeny Malkin almost tapped it past Jarry, but a shoulder save by the Penguins goaltender.
That was a rocket cross-ice pass. Malkin reached out with the stick to intercept it. Instead, put it right on Jarry, and Jarry had to make an unbelievable left collarbone save on his own player.
Penguins now back in the Blues end. Dumba firing one. Pad save Hoper. Fight for the puck in the crease. Down to a knee is Brazeau, and he can't sweep a clean shot away. And now a bad bounce off the far wall prevented Dumba from stopping the puck to keep it alive.
That chance for Brazeau was a result of a low, hard shot by Wotherspoon. Just get it to the feet of Hofer and allow Brazeau a couple of whacks.
Wotherspoon has the go-ahead goal right now, his first with the Penguins. 4 minutes to go in the second period. 3-2 the Pens lead on the stick of number 28 in black Wotherspoon as he sends it down in the Blues end. A lazy pop fly for Hofer that'll glove down and then shovel it over to the near side as he felt some pressure from the Pens.
Loves the play.
St. Louis dumps it down into the Pens end, near corner. Carlson shovels it over towards the corner, now pulled away by Erik Karlsson. Skates it up on the far side, up ahead to Brian Rust. Snapped over to Hollander along the near boards. Corrals it down at the corner. He gets sandwiched by a couple of Blues as it's now escaped out to Crosby in the corner. Feeds Hollander, chipped over to Brian Rust. Backhanded, but Crosby's skate got in the way of it as Parayko will hustle it up to the neutral zone. Now Bjugstad chips it down into the Penguins end off the end boards. Played by Karlsson, snapped up to Rust. A little out of his reach, but Kindle gets it back to 17 in black. Now Kindle at the near point, shovels it down around the boards. It's slowed down by Mayu. Pitched back up along the near wall. St. Louis gets it out of their zone. Into the Penguins' end now. Chip down far corner. Jari out of his net. Slings it over to the near side. Kindle plays it over to Novak. Chip back to Kindle. He's got it in the Blues zone near side. Backhanded centering pass looking for Koivunen, and he was wrapped up though. Kindle trying to kick the puck free in the corner. It's pulled out by St. Louis. They clear it out to center ice. All the way down to the Penguins' end. Ryan Shea races it down. 2.5 to play in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2 over the Blues. St. Louis takes the puck back. They lose it in the neutral zone. Koivunen sends it deep. Hofer to play it again. Nothing but white sweaters around him as it's pitched back in behind the net. Mayu sends it all the way down. And out of play. Stop the clock with 2:11 to go in this second period.
Can I shoehorn in some birthdays?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Dawson Mercer, 24. Rasmus Anderson, 29. Leon Draisaitl, 30. Rasmus Ristolainen, 31. Brandon Saad, 33. Sergei Samsonov, used to be Samsonov, 47. Mike Ricci, 54. Brad Lauer, 59. Paul Broughton, the big 6-0. And Brian McClellan, 67. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys. Today is also one of the rare sports equinox days. There is a NHL game on, clearly. An NFL game on. An NBA game on. Game 3 of the World Series, Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Doesn't happen too often.
What do you call it? Equinox?
Sports Equinox Day. Yeah. Penguins have it in the Blues zone. Dumba high slot down over to the far half wall. Lazada. Chari, a drive blocker save. Hofer.
Great puck movement there by the Penguins. Everything tape to tape.
That fourth line, too. As Lazat tries to chuck it forward, but it's taken away by Kyrou. Into the Penguins' end. Over to Holloway, darts through the crease, that kept out of there by Jari, and then he sweeps it away with a stick save after. Now Lazat snipes it up to Chari. He couldn't get it cleanly into the Blues' end. Now St. Louis sends it the other way, down into the Penguins' end. That'll be icing. 1:25 to go in the second. Penguins lead the Blues 3-2.
You're not going to believe this, folks. Nobody won Mega Millions.
What?
So tomorrow, the jackpot, you ready for this? You can even support your habits on this, Joe. An estimated annuity of $714 million. Yes, $714 million. So don't forget to play your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds, well, it benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You gotta be 18 or older. And please play responsibly. For the love of all that's holy, please play responsibly.
My habits need to be slowed down these days, not enhanced. But if you're telling me there's a chance. Minute 20 to go in the second period. Penguins lead the Blues 3-2. Dumped into the Penguins' end near corner. Wotherspoon pitches it to himself along the boards. As it's dumped back down, Anthony Mantha cornered the trapezoid over the far side for Erik Karlsson. He'll skate it up, push it ahead to Malkin over the Blues line, cuts it towards the crease, and Snuggerud's able to pry the puck out of his arms. Final minute. You heard Ryan Mill here in the second period. Penguins lead 3-2. Malkin, a soft pass that Wotherspoon was luckily able to get to quickly enough. Snapped it up ahead, but right to the stick of Cam Fowler of St. Louis. Colton Parayko now dumps it into the Penguins' end. Caught a lucky bounce for the Pens as Karlsson takes it away. Sends it to Mantha along the near boards. He dumps it back down into the Blues' end. 30 seconds to go in this second period. Penguins lead by 1. Jimmy Snuggerud, product out of the University of Minnesota, wrists one wide. Over to the far corner. Sundqvist, the former Penguin, sends it down around the boards. 20 seconds to go in the period. Puck bounces off the back of the cage. Fought for him behind, swung around the boards. Broberg's got it. Far circle, gets it over to Buchnevich, over to Sundqvist in the corner. It's it now over to Snuggerud. Snap pass to Falk. Jumped off his stick. 5 seconds to go in the second period. Pulled away by Chris Letang. He'll get it up to the neutral zone to Crosby. 2 seconds, one. Crosby tees one up, but a blocker save from Hofer wouldn't count it anyway. But a 3-2 lead for the Pens. Parker Wotherspoon picks up his first goal with the Penguins on a delayed penalty. One of the more impressive sequences by the Penguins this year, and it has them on top by 1 with 20 more to go here from PPG Paints Arena.
Much better, Joe. You have to agree. That was much better period. A couple of gaffes, a couple of turnovers, and some quality chances still for the St. Louis Blues. But Tristan Jarry, he's in one of those grooves, folks. He's in one of those moods, if you will, where he just gets dialed in. And there's sections of this game where you just feel like nothing's going to get by him when it's just even mano a mano. St. Louis Blues walking in from 30 feet, 25 feet, and Tristan Jarry at times not even going down. And if he does, it's more of like a hybrid or a real delayed butterfly. That tells me he's oozing with confidence.
10 saves for Jarry in the second period, 17 saves on the night. Penguins lead 3-2 through 2 periods here in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer just popped into the booth. He'll have the second intermission report for us as you're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The heaviest metal credit card.
We celebrate the brave.
Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
We celebrate the brave, the powerful, pink ribbon wearers and supporters who turn the fear and uncertainty of a breast cancer diagnosis into strength and hope. At UPMC, we're here to support you with screenings, compassionate experts, and innovative therapies, because we know that sometimes you just need someone by your side through every step of the journey. Learn more at upmc.com/breast cancer awareness.
Never Ending 90s presents Ezra Ray Hart, 90s hits and Xmas riffs. Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray, Kevin Griffin of Better Than Ezra, and Emerson Hart of Tonic. If you could only see a night of all the hits. November 20th, 7 p.m. The Event Center at Rivers Casino. Tickets make the perfect holiday gift. Visit riverscasino.com for tickets. Don't miss Ezra Ray Hart Live.
It's crunch time. The Shop and Save Tailgate Zone giveaway is happening right now until December 21st. Grab game day snacks that bring the energy and enter for your shot to win a free tailgate party valued up to $450. Just head in store, find the Tailgate Zone signs, and scan the QR code to enter online. One tailgate party is given away every week. Submit an entry each week to be eligible. Shop, save, enjoy life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for official rules.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins 3, Blues 2 after 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and an interesting period of hockey, but a very impressive goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. It came at 6:37. It was a delayed penalty. Penguins just working the puck around the zone. Finally, Sidney Crosby just slid a slick pass through bodies into an area where Wotherspoon could fire it home to the far post at 6:37, and just a really pretty play that I was about to scream from my press box seat, "You're overpassing the puck." Well, it worked, and they got the go-ahead goal 3-2. Carlson with the second helper on that one. Should mention, though, I saw an interesting stat earlier, DeGino's 13th assist in this of the season that he got earlier in this hockey game gives him the most for a 39-year-old through 10 games in NHL history, putting him ahead of a couple of names you may know: Gordie Howe, who had 11 in 1969, Nicholas Lidstrom, who had 11 in 2011, and Jean Beliveau in 1971 had 10. So that's pretty impressive stuff. Back to this game, though, when you're looking at it, it was Tristan Jarry, really impressive. You heard the guys talking about it. 10 for 10 on the saves in the period. Made a really nice glove save at 11:01 on Turevchenko. Just he looks locked in the way he's protecting his goal is what you want to see from a guy that had some ups and downs last year. Shots on goal in the period were 10-10. The Penguins had to kill another penalty. Novak went again for tripping. They got that done. And for the game, though, the Penguins now outshooting the Blues 20-19. When we come back, we will have some hockey talk with the old 2-9er Phil Bork. So stick with us on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
As the official professional products partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kimberly-Clark Professionals deliver trusted brands like Scott, Kleenex, and Wipe-All to deliver game-ready hygiene solutions that keep facilities clean, efficient, and prepared for action. Learn more at kcprofessional.com.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Face Off Inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm scared of you guys.
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face Off Inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins 3, Blues 2 after 2 at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and now joined by the old 2-9er Phil Bork for some hockey talk. And Borky, heard you guys talking about Tristan Jarry when I walked in, and what are you seeing from him? I know in my view, he is shaking off goals better than he ever did. He seems to be seeing pucks, and he's lightning quick now and just seemingly playing his position much better. What do you think?
Yeah, aggressive, not overly aggressive. I think his handles have been good.
Yep.
Taking what is given. Sometimes just throw it up in the glass. Live to fight another day.
Yep.
You don't see him as pinned on the goal line as much. So when I'm talking about aggressive, smart, aggressive,
challenging,
we've actually seen him outside his blue paint at the right time, right?
Yeah.
We know how athletic he is. We know how good of a goaltender he can be. We know his skills and trusting his reflexes. That's what really gets my eyeballs jumping is when I see like the save that he made on, I don't know who it was, I forget, coming down the wing there.
Was it the sequence when he was like that?
No, it came down the wing.
Oh,
he made a standing glove save.
Oh, yeah, that was on Toropchenko.
There was Toropchenko.
Yep.
That's to me, that's a really confident goaltender, almost daring Toropchenko to go offside and baiting him. And I just believing in his glove hand
and he
that I can make
it.
this, and he snagged it, and he made it kind of look routine, right? It wasn't circus-like. It wasn't windmill save. It was just like, hey, this is where I knew you were going to go. I steered you that way, and so when he's confident and dialed in like that, and even you mentioned when pucks are down on his feet, he's not frantic, right?
Yep.
He's kind of calm but intense at the same time.
Yeah, he's just sees it better, I think, than he ever did. And I notice he's not dropping as quick as he used to either.
Great point.
That's a big thing there. What are you seeing from these passes at the blue line? Too much, playing around. It looks like right inside the blue line and right inside the defensive blue line. That's a new thing in the last couple of games that we weren't seeing all season.
This might be a stretch by me, but I'll say it anyways, just to give you an answer because I don't have a better one. It's almost like early on, Penguins defensemen did a great job of just wristing pucks to the net and getting them through, right? Yeah. There's two parts to that, right? It's one thing to have the mindset of, I'm going to get it there. It's another thing to actually get it through the blocks and the screens and the sticks and everything else. They did a great job of that earlier on, and some of them resulted in goals.
Yep.
I don't know if they feel like, okay, we've done that. I want to do something else. That was kind of boring. I could do more than that, than just anybody could just risk that the goal. But that's the right play. Nothing breaks down the team's defensive structure than risking a puck towards the goal.
Yep.
Because it's not that shot that goes in, it's what happens after that shot if you get it through. So I think they're just getting too fancy and trying to make something out of something that's not there.
Do you feel like that comes from success sometimes? Because when things are going well, you're in a game, goals are going in, you start to overpass, you just feel froggy.
Yeah, I think so. Would you say froggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll go with it. Yeah, you feel froggy. You feel like, I can do something more. You know, you're feeling good about yourself. You're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spin. My spin around backhand pass is going to be right on the tape. Keep it simple, man.
Yep.
It's working. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Those things will come natural to you. It's when you try to force them, more times than not, it ends up in the back of your net.
Borky, we have like 30 seconds, but what are you anticipating from the group in the third? Just what we've seen so far?
I think next level. I think they weren't real happy with their last game against Columbus. They couldn't have been happy, even though it was 2-2 in the first period. They were much better in the third. Now I'm expecting 20 miles for 20 smiles. I'm thinking you're going to see the best Penguins version of this Pittsburgh Penguins team, knowing this is the last period, hopefully last period, before they head on the road for 4.
Yeah, go out with a bang. I like it, my friend. Thank you for this.
Okay, pal.
That is the old 2-9er, and the boys will head out for 4 games on the road, but we'll still be doing this for all of those. When I come back, some news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Come out to PPG Paints Arena for Pittsburgh Night, presented by U.S. Steel on November 6th versus the Washington Capitals. Join your favorite mascots from around the city to celebrate all things Pittsburgh.
Now pushed up ahead. Brazeau playing it off the boards. Towards the crease. Backhand. He scores! Justin Brazeau. 3 goals with the Penguins in 2 games. And this one puts them...
Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Looking for a delicious power play off the ice? Download the GetGo app and get a free 6-piece order of juicy all-white meat chicken nuggets, plus a dipping sauce of your choice. Or are you craving something that could satisfy the appetite of a Penguins player after sudden death overtime? Good news, the Pilgrim is served. Gobble up the traditional holiday favorites of roasted turkey, tangy cranberry, savory gravy, and crispy tots piled high on delicious stuffing bread for a limited time. GetGo, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
The Penguins lead the Blues 3-2 after 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena. And here's the promise you some news, so let's get to it. When you look at the 3 stars of the week, for the NHL, it was Macklin Celebrini, number 1. Logan Cooley, the Pittsburgh kid, he was number 2. And Jack Hughes, number 3. Celebrini doing some really special things right now, though. Most points through the first 9 games in a season from a teenager in NHL history. Only 4 guys have done what he's done, and he's one of the 4 right now. Brian Trottier with 18 points in those 9 games in 1976. Wayne Gretzky with 16 in 1981. Our own Sidney Crosby with 15 in 2007, and Macklin Celebrini now with 15 in his first 9 games. He's just been flying with his buddy Will Smith and company out in San Jose, who we got to see a short time ago. So great to see that. And also great to see the Pittsburgh kid, Logan Cooley, lighting it up, coming out of the Little Penguins program and doing what he's doing for Utah, who is off to the hottest start I've seen that team put together in many, many years. And Coley's been a big, big part of that. And It's great to see Nick Schmaltz among the leading scorers, leading the league actually going into play tonight, I believe. Pretty crazy stuff from Utah, and it all goes through him. It goes through Cooley and Gunther and all those other youngsters out there with the Mammoth, and they've been waiting a long time, and they're starting to really reap the rewards of some good, solid drafting. When we come back here, Joe Brand, the old 2-9er Phil Bork will have third period action for you on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hi, this is John Mayer. I started a channel called Life with John Mayer, and what it does is it plays music according to the time of day, not genre. So you trust me that every time you turn the channel on, you're going to hear something that's going to fit the vibe. Whether you're on your way to work, on your way home, relaxing at home, or drifting off to sleep, the music will match. It's Life with John Mayer on Channel 14. Give it a try. It's also at home with the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mound. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The fastest game on ice. He scores! Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
A 3-2 lead for the Penguins through 2 periods here at PPG Paints Arena, so 20 minutes to try and close this one out against the St. Louis Blues. Well, the Blues were able to fight back from a quick 2-0 deficit early in this hockey game. They've been a strong bunch throughout. Tristan Jarry has come up pretty big with some pretty big saves tonight, Borky.
He really is. He's been a difference maker. And that's what you need from your goaltender, to make all the saves he's supposed to make, and then hopefully only 5 to 7 exceptional saves. And in the last couple games, it's been more than that, but until the Penguins can really get their 60 minutes buttoned up defensively, there's going to be leaks. The other team still has some talented offensive players there, but it's a huge 20 minutes here for the Penguins. They had a good thing going. They come into this game 6-2-1, and they keep climbing up the ladder in the standings. And the way the New Jersey Devils are going, are they ever going to lose a game here again? Only one loss in the loss column, but keep going in the Metropolitan Division. You got to win these games on home ice before you go on the road for 4.
The go-ahead goal right now is Parker Wotherspoon's his first with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby picking up an assist on that goal. Gives him 1,699 in his career. So Sid just one shy of becoming the 9th player in NHL history to reach 1,700. Drop of the puck. We're underway in the third period. It's brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. Penguins in their home black sweaters attacking from left to right. St. Louis Blues in their road white sweaters attacking from right to left. Here's Crosby. Pitches it up to Wotherspoon. Far circle. He'll curl around. Snap it over to Rust at the half wall. Along the hash marks. Back up to Wotherspoon. He dances. He fires. It doesn't get past Hollander. Rolled over to Sid, and behind the net, snapped up Carlson. Touch pass, they score! Brian Rust, his second goal of the
What a shift this is. Hunt the puck. My goodness gracious. All 5 players touch the puck here. The Penguins kept feeding the puck to the left point, the left defenseman, Parker Woldersberg. Hey guys, I know he scored a goal in the game, but let's get it to the net. And finally, Sid on a rim from Hollander. Brian Rust kind of dummies the play. He lets it go past him to Sid. Sid walks out from behind the goal. He spots Erik Karlsson. What a tremendous, absolutely tremendous play by Erik Karlsson. It's a slap pass, just looking for the stick of Brian Rust. Icing here against St. Louis. I can slow down. Slap pass by Karlsson to Brian Rust. Perfect. And Rusty knows what to do. Just get strong on the stick, strong on the backhand, and deflected 5-hole. It kind of rattles around a little bit on the pillows of Hofer, but then kisses the back of the net to give the Penguins their 2-goal lead back. 4-2.
Russ now has 3 goals in the last 2 games. Sidney Crosby with 2 assists tonight and now 1,700 career points. He's the 9th player in NHL history with 1,700. He's just the 4th with 1 team. He joins Gordie Howe, Steve Yzerman, and Mario Lemieux. Now the Penguins now with a 4-2 lead. They scored twice in the opening minute of the hockey game, and now they score in the opening minute here in the 3rd period. Justin Falk slows down a puck in the neutral zone over to Snuggerud, dumps it down into the Penguins' end and shoveled out by Ryan Shea. St. Louis slows down the puck in the Penguins' end, taken by Snuggerud now. He'll chip it down to the near corner, rolling it behind the net for Tristan Jarry. And now the crowd is acknowledged. A big 1,700 in white font on the video board, listing Sid's career points. Hofer will play the puck, chip it off the glass on the near side. And they stay to their feet until Sid acknowledges them. And that's what he does, raising his right hand up into the air. Meanwhile, Harrison Brunick's going to go to the penalty box for tripping.
85, 2 minutes for a trip.
It's 45, not 85, but we get what you were saying. Harrison Brunick tried to do too much at the blue line. Dylan Holloway that was right there that picked off his pass as he tried a quick little 10-foot pass for a give and go. And when Holloway picked it off, he felt that Holloway was going to be off to the races and made sure he hauled down Holloway, but they're going to call tripping. And the St. Louis Blues down the pair go to the power play.
Penguins 2 for 2 on the PK tonight. And they quickly clear it on down. Hofer plays it, leaves it in behind his net for Cam Fowler. Fowler skates it up to the neutral zone, dumps it down into the Penguins' end, slowly rolls to the far corner. Brian Rust pitches it along the end boards, and now Nola Chari will flip it on out to the neutral zone. Goes all the way down into the Blues' end. Hofer plays it again.
Sid also passed Mario Lemieux for multi-point games. Now Sid at 498, one past Mario. Now the Sidney Crosby chance start.
He's now 23 points total shy of Mario. 55 shy of Yzerman. The Blues send it down into the Penguins' end again along the end boards. Connor Dewar sweeps it around the far wall. Sundqvist gets it over to Holloway. And don't have a time right now on the PK. There isn't one on the video board. Harrison Brunick still in the box, though. The centering pass goes wide over to the far side.
Brunick went in at 2:10, if that helps you, partner.
Math is not my strong suit in real time on the radio. There's a centering pass kicked out of there with a left pad from Jarry. Flipped on down.
Brunick should be out in 10 seconds.
There we go. 16:15 to go in regulation. Penguins lead 4-2. The Blues take it into the Penguins' end slowly. Kyrou kind of slowed down right before the blue line. And now spun around the boards over to the near side. Now Brunick standing up in the box.
Yeah.
As we hit the 16-minute mark. And Hollander swipes away the pass, carries it up to the neutral zone. Over the Blues line, Brunick's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Hollander, though, sweeps it over to the far corner. It's taken away by Broberg. He'll crank it back the other way to the near wall. Billy Koivunen racing in after the puck along the corner. Almost got it to Sid for a moment. They fight for the puck. Sid pulls it out, gets it to Brunick, near circle, and he just dives into a couple of white sweaters. Now the Blues come the other way. They could have numbers. It's in the near side. Joseph, he shoots and scores. A bit of a 2-on-1. He had the option of Toropchenko on the far side, but Matthew Joseph just held on to it and sniped a wrister over the stick side of Tristan Jarry. The Blues get back within one. It's 4-3 Penguins. Still over 15 minutes to play.
And another tough turnover here by Harrison Brunick. Just trying to do too much, Joe. Situational hockey, man. You're up 2 goals. You're up 2. St. Louis comes back to make it 2-2. You come storming out in the third period. You go up 2 more. And Harrison Brunick on the turnover. And again, a 2-on-1. And what a job by Joseph. He held on to the very last second. And when he saw Jarry, thinking he was going to go backdoor with the pass, Jarry just leaned a little bit. And Joseph went short side, blocker side to make it a 1-goal game.
It's Matthew Joseph's first goal of the season.
Penalties here.
On each side.
Malkin. And is that Bukestad?
2 minutes for slashing. 71 Pittsburgh, 2 minutes for slashing.
Slashing's all over. Bukestad and Malkin in the boxes.
Yeah, that started on the faceoff. And it's more frustration by Gino. Gino initiated this. He gave like an open glove smack to the face of Bukestad. So Bukestad gave him a kind of a, just a little whack with the stick, and Gino turned around and gave him a 2-hander whack. So some obvious frustration by Evgeny Malkin there, but they're both in the box, Bukestad and Malkin.
It's a little 4-on-4 hockey. 15:15 to go in regulation. Penguins lead 4-3. Penguins with a 5-game point streak at the moment. 4-0-1 during that stretch. It's the first game against the Blues this season as Lazat takes it in the Blues end. Connor Dewar, wrister, saved by Hofer. Puck goes to the end wall, over to the corner. As Dewar tries to dig after it. Lazat's got it pinned along the boards. Now he picks up his right skate. The puck squirts free, goes over to the far corner. Kyrou sends it up along the wall for Parayko. Now snapped over to Broberg. He'll take it over the Penguins line. Deschênes at the far half wall. Can't get past Ryan Shea, but the Blues will now retreat it out to the neutral zone to regroup. 70 seconds to go of 4-on-4 hockey. 14.5 left in this game. Penguins lead 4-3. As Falk takes it into the Penguins zone. Near point. Kicks it around the boards. Buchnevich quickly gets it in behind Jarry's net. Backhand shovels it to Falk. Backhand shot saved by Jarry. Rebound over to the far wall. Shea got wrapped up by one of the Blues. Taken by Buchnevich near circle. Wrister saved by Jarry.
Oh, great save by Jarry there. Great patience by Jarry. Didn't even go down and made that save with the blocker. That's a huge save by Jarry in a 4-3 hockey game.
33 seconds to go of 4-on-4. Penguins lead by 1. Just under 14 minutes to go in this game. Holloway playing keep away in the neutral zone. Gets it to Buchnevich. Rink wide pass. Broberg. Far circle. Wrister off Jarry and off the post. Pops up. Skims the netting. Stops the clock with 13:41 to go in regulation. We'll take a break. Penguins lead by 1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network. Presented by S&T Bank.
Now through October 31st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 in the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB postseason heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. Just be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The Penguins still lead by 1, but the St. Louis Blues just haven't seemed to go away in this game. They get back within 1 in this third period after Brian Rust picked up his second goal of the night. It's 4-3 Pens with 13:41 to play and 20 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. We'll get a face-off to the left of Tristan Jarry over in the Penguins end. Lizotte will take the draw against Oscar Sundqvist, the former Penguin who no longer holds the accolade of being the only Penguin to score their first career goal shorthanded. Philip Hollander did it as well a week ago in L.A. Sundqvist did it in April of 2016 against the New York Islanders. And I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a Sidney Crosby penalty, just like Philip Hollander's first goal. Sid actually had a penalty earlier in that period, but it wasn't the one he was serving. It was Ian Cole's interference penalty. Malkin takes it in the Blues zone, but gets the puck stripped away.
Gino trying to do too much, 1 against 4.
Now a turnover. Buchnevich curls around the net, tries to tuck it in, can't get it.
Oh my goodness, it's an adventure for Carlson and Brunik here tonight. They're just trying to do too much, Joe. They refuse to try to keep the game simple. And you're right. St. Louis is hounding both Brunik and Carlson, forcing them into turnovers. And both those players really need to keep it simple.
Penguins trying to get the puck out of their zone, and Malkin sends a pass too hot for Novak. It goes all the way down for icing. 12:39 to go in regulation. Penguins lead 4-3.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation, driving the next big play. EQT.
4-3, the Penguins lead. Under 13 to play. Penguins will hit the road. They're playing in Philadelphia tomorrow night. Blues have a second half of a back-to-back as well as a wrister from Snuggerud goes wide of the net. Puck pops in the air, gloved down by Malkin. He tries to thread the needle to feed Novak. Novak still gets to the puck, though. Far side, dumps it into the Blues end. Hofer sends it for a ride around the boards. Up to the near wall, it's taken by Holloway. He gets it to Parayko. Blues has some trouble getting into the Penguin zone as Malkin takes it away. Now sends it rink wide, but it goes right to St. Louis again. Holloway in the neutral zone. Gets it over to Snuggerud, who taps it deep. Tristan Jarry plays it over to the far side. Snapshot. Pad save from Jarry. Now Broberg a drive. That goes wide. Loose puck over to the far corner. Hollander boxes out Snuggerud for the puck. Crosby with a backhanded pass. Got it to Letang. Now it's Hollander over the Blues line to Rust at the point. Tried to get it to Letang. Jumped off his skate. Snuggerud takes it. Shea's there to defend, but Snuggerud takes it into the Penguin zone. Rister saved by Jarry. Second attempt hits the side of the cage. Up ahead to Hollander. Jumped off his stick, though. Bjugstad gets it over to Broberg. 11:30 to go in regulation as the Penguins lead 4-3. It's Falk in behind Hofer's net. Up ahead to Broberg. Snaps it up to Matthew Joseph, who scored the latest goal for St. Louis. Matt Dumba now takes it up ahead of the neutral zone. Dewar taps it into the Blues end near corner. Played off the wall by Hofer. He steers it towards Tucker. Spun around the boards and missed a crashing Dumba on Joseph, and it rolls all the way down to the Penguins end. Brunik tries to fool everyone and stiff it over to the near side as Blake Lizotte will chuck it out to the neutral zone now. Connor Dewar can't get a handle on it, but Nola Chari will take the loose puck, get it into the Blues end. Lizotte sends it deep to the corner. Trying to kick it around the boards. The puck pops up. It's on top of the net. As it almost took a wild bounce, and now some hands start to get thrown in front of the crease.
Tyler Tucker and Connor Dewar, and they might go. Tucker really wants a piece of Dewar. Wouldn't that have been crazy? That was Blake Lazat just trying to rim it from behind the goal, just rim it from far side to near side to the weak side. It hit a St. Louis Blue. Then it went straight up in the air. And I don't know if it hit Hofer or not, but it ended up landing right on top of the net.
That would have been one of the most insane goals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Literally, as you just described, but from the far corner, airborne, and almost banked it in.
And Hofer at 6'5", he extends. The height of the crossbar is 4 feet. It's 4 by 6, 6 wide. So he's clearly, 2 feet, 2.5 feet above the crossbar. Could have easily hit the back of his head, his shoulder, even the middle of his back, and just dribbled into the goal.
10.5 still to play. Penguins take it away. It's Carlson in the Blues and tees one up, and a glove save from Hofer. Reading it the entire way. 10:23 to go here in regulation. Penguins lead 4-3.
Yeah, plays like that from Erik Karlsson, we've seen more than not. There have been some hiccups here tonight, but again, not trying to do too much. Just keep reminding yourself, keep it simple, keep it simple. It's a 4-3 game. It's kind of been one of those crazy games. A lot of craziness going on here tonight. I'm a veteran guy, I'm a leader.
This is snapped over to the point. The face-off that the Penguins win in behind the net for Fowler. Below the goal line, it's taken by Shen. Flipped over to the far side. Kyrou up ahead now. It's taken by Parayko. Back to Kyrou over the Penguins line. Down around the boards. We reach the 10-minute mark here in the third period. Penguins lead 4-3. Brian Rust tries to poke it forward, create a turnover. Can't get it to go. The Blues rework it in their own zone. Chipped up into the air, goes tumbling down into the Penguins' end. Puck on edge to the right of Jari. Wotherspoon gets to it. It wasn't icing, though. Now snapped up to Holloway. Left up for Falk. High slot. Over to the far circle. Poked away by Crosby. Taken back by Kyrou. Centering pass. Caught at deflection. Pops up. Skims the netting. 9:38 to go in regulation. Penguins with a 4-3 lead over the St. Louis Blues. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins. The wait is over, Pens fans. The 2026 Penguins and Paws Charity Pet Calendar is here, featuring Penguins players and adoptable pets, all while supporting a great cause. With each month, you'll get a glimpse of your favorite players alongside adorable furry friends looking for their forever homes. Proceeds benefit animal friends and the Penguins Foundation, assisting pets in need to find the perfect home. Secure your calendar today by visiting shop.pittsburghpenguinsfoundation.org. Pre-order your Penguins and Paws Charity Pet Calendar today and make a difference 1 month at a time.
Penguins lead the Blues 4-3. We've got 9:38 to play here at PPG Paints Arena. Shots on goal led by the Blues at the moment, 26-21. It's Tristan Jari with 23 saves tonight. Has come up with a few dandies. St. Louis Blues, we're trying to get back to a hockey 500. Came into this game 3-4-1. We've had a couple of rough losses lately. Trying to fight back in this one. The Penguins control after the draw. They chip it out to the neutral zone, get it down into the Blues end, near corner. And over to Falk. He's wrapped up by Nola Chari, playing some good defense along the boards. Blake Lizotte races in there to try to pry the puck free. Right for the puck at the corner of the trapezoid. Rolls along the boards to Buchnevich. Up over to Sundqvist. He'll backhand it rink wide. Broberg plays it off the wall. Takes it into the Penguin zone. Chips it down to the corner. And behind Jari's net, that gets wrapped up by Ryan Shea. Falls down to the ice. Loose puck to the corner. Buchnevich sends it deep. Chris Letang quickly snipes it away. Now gets it up to Connor Dewar. Dewar up to Shea in the neutral zone with 8:50 to go in regulation. Shea in the blue zone. Rister got blocked. Kicks off the near glass in the corner. Now rolls out to the neutral zone that Tommy Novak gets to. They tap it back to Brunick. Penguins could get a change and re-rack here. Novak. Rink wide to Dumba. He'll sling it down along the boards from far to near. Up to the half wall. Kindle sends it for a ride. Koivunen at the far half boards. Up to Dumba. He ripped a shot that got blocked. Koivunen picks up the loose puck. Over to the far wall. Got shrugged into the boards by Shen. Touch pass to Novak. Back down to Crosby. Now Kindle at the doorstep. Couldn't get it to go. Down to the near corner. Kindle keeps it along the boards. Chips it up to Brunick. His wrister. Pinballs around. Goes in behind the net. Parayko cut off by Kindle as the puck goes over to the near corner. And Parayko will take it away. Shovels it out to the neutral zone for the Blues. But Novak swipes away a pass. Under 8 to play here in regulation. Penguins are back in the Blues end. It's Koivunen. Around the boards up to the near side. Brunick races down after it. Taps it down to the corner. Rolls over to the far side. Pitched up along the boards as Holloway will take it away for St. Louis. Now over to Bukestad to Walker. Over the Penguins line. In the slot. He wrists one. Redirection. Loose puck bounces off the end wall right in front of Jari. But the Penguins are able to get it to the near wall.
Crazy bounce. That was off the yellow kickboard to the right of Tristan Jari.
7.5 to go in regulation. Malkin cruising through in the slot. Couldn't get a shot off. Second attempt just goes wide of the net.
Holy dingle-dangle by Evgeny Malkin.
Brazeau on the doorstep. Turnaround shot that Hofer somehow keeps out.
Hofer's best save right there.
Penguins keep it alive in the Blues zone. Malkin along the near boards. The high slot for Wotherspoon. Tries to create some space. He'll take it down to the corner at the goal line. Centering past Brazeau. Can't get a shot off. Up to Mantha. Mantha back over to Malkin. At the high slot, he leaves it for Wotherspoon. Cruising down the near wall, down to the corner. Centering pass off the skate of Cam Fowler, but Mantha will pick up the loose puck. Mantha slows down at the point, drops it down to the corner. As Brazeau races after it, swings it around the boards. Wotherspoon can't keep it alive at the half wall. It goes all the way down to the Penguins, and Carlson races it down.
It's a couple good shifts there. It started with the Lizotte line, followed up by the Malkin line. Those are good, hard-working puck possession shifts.
6.5 to play here in Pittsburgh. Penguins lead 4-3. Here comes Hollander cruising into the Blues zone. Turnaround, wraparound, backhand shot kept out of there by Hofer.
A little more difficult to wrap around on the backhand.
Hollander sends it deep. It caught a piece of Crosby upstairs, and the Blues will take it out to the neutral zone. Buchnevich with a pass intended for Pius Suter. Pinballs around, goes down into the Penguins' end. Up to the near boards for Chris Letang. Now taken away by Suter. Now taken away by Crosby. He'll backhand chip it to Hollander, over to Chris Letang, over the Blues line. Backhand chips it down to the corner. And it's taken by Broberg, poked away by Russ, but the Blues take it back. Snuggerud again. For the sophomore season of the NHL, chips it down to the near corner to the right of Tristan Jari. Shea couldn't get a handle on it. Buchnevich feeds it to Tucker. Rister doesn't get past Hollander. A one-timer coming as Walker just came off the bench. That went wide.
2 blocks by Hollander.
5:35 to go in regulation. Penguins lead 4-3. Blues with it in the Penguin zone. Sundqvist in behind the net. Flips it up to the far point for Mayu. Mayu walks the blue line. Wrists one. Caught some traffic. Sailed over the net. Torovchenko's got it in behind Jari's cage. From the corner, he gets stripped of the puck for a moment. They fight for it. It's rolled along the near wall. Chris Letang trying to dig after it, but Sundqvist gets it down to Torovchenko. He rims it around the boards to Mayo. Far half wall. Tough angle shot. Sailed past the crease. In behind the net now. Torovchenko races it down, brings it over to the far side. Tucker wants the puck in the high slot. Torovchenko, turnaround shot, glove save by Jari. And Chris Letang throws down Nathan Walker to the ice, who was there as the screen. But Tristan Jari keeps it 4-3 Penguins. Under 5 to play here in Pittsburgh. Big Mac time coming up next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The
NASCAR championship is on the line. And SiriusXM will take you to the track for every thrilling turn.
1, 2, 3 cars crashing and colliding.
Sunday at 2 Eastern. 4 drivers enter with equal points. The highest finisher takes the crown.
This is Denny Hamlin. This is William Byron. Hey, this is Chase Briscoe. This is Kyle Larson.
And driver-to-crew chatter on the SiriusXM app puts you in the car for every lap.
Let's go get a championship, baby.
The NASCAR Cup Series Championship live from Phoenix. Listen on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan, and
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with a group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
4:58 to go in regulation. So fans, if the Penguins score during the final 5 minutes of the third period of any game this year, you win a free Big Mac. If the Penguins score, be sure to download your McDonald's app, receive a free Big Mac with purchase. Offer is valid 3 days following the game with a Penguins score on the Big Mac attack. 4-3, the Penguins lead. 4:58 to go. Face off to the right of Tristan Jarry, and the Penguins win it. Parker Wotherspoon carries it out to the neutral zone as it's sent down to the near corner. Right now, Brian Rust is on hat-trick watch, and just saying, he hit the Big Mac attack 2 nights ago here at home against Columbus as we get a whistle blown.
Offside.
Penguins are offside with 4:42 to go. They lead 4-3.
Oh, well, that would get me jumping up and down in the booth here. If Rusty could get the hat-trick goal, we've already got half off of the Rusty Shake from the Milkshake Factory.
Correct.
We got that check. Now, if we can get the HT goal to be the Big Mac goal, now we're living large.
Blow the lid off this place. Penguins win the draw, courtesy of Ben Kindle. They quickly dump it down into the Blues' end, far corner. Snapped over to Tucker on the far side. Now up ahead to Walker as he'll carry it through the neutral zone, dump it into the Penguins' end. Slows down at the near corner, quickly sent up ahead by Matt Dumba. And the Penguins pull it out of their zone. Koivunen near side, chips it off the glass down to the corner. Rolls along the boards. Kicked up to Walker. Walker will slide it out to the neutral zone for Pia Suter over the Penguins line. Now snapped over. Far circle shot saved by Jarry.
There's Mayu jumping up on the play. The last 3 or 4 shifts with St. Louis down the goal, they've been sending their D-men. We've seen Broberg up on the play. We've seen Parayko up on the play. We know Fowler's going to be up on the play. Falk, they're all joining the rush. That means if you are really, really stingy defensively, you're going to get some chances going the other way. Odd man breaks.
4:10 to go here in Pittsburgh. Penguins lead the Blues 4-3. Crosby to take the draw against Sundqvist. And the Penguins trying to control. Wotherspoon playing along the boards. Stuffed into the wall against Pia Suter. They're still taking after the puck as we reach under 4 minutes to go. Wotherspoon hits the ice. The Blues take the puck away. Down to the corner is Buchnevich. Picked to the puck by Crosby for a moment, but Sundqvist pitches it up to Fowler. Near point. Rister goes off Sid's skate. Far side now. And Rister doesn't get past Sid.
Sid blocked it. Sid playing goaltender there.
Fowler, Rister. Saved by Jarry with a blocker. Over to the near half wall. Fowler spins it around the boards. Past Suter. Over to Buchnevich. Far point. Now up to Parayko. He loaded up for one. Touch pass from Rust over to Crosby on a breakaway in between the rings. Stuff denied. Second attempt. He scores! Sidney Crosby bats home his own rebound and puts the Penguins back up by 2. And it's Big Mac time here in Pittsburgh.
What a shift by the captain. Let's review. 2 block shots. Forces the turnover by Parayko to Brian Rust. And the anticipation, next level stuff by Sidney Crosby. Takes off through the neutral zone, knowing that puck was going to go to Rust. Let me take off. Parayko's dead in the tracks. He's flat-footed. And a nice one-touch by Brian Rust catches Sidney Crosby in full stride. The quick little snapshot gets stopped by Hofer, but he leaves the rebound right there. And Sid goes top cheese, right where Mama keeps the peanut butter, baby. Underneath the crossbar. It's 5-3 Penguins.
Sid's got his 3rd point of the night. And now, Hofer out of his net. Malkin scores! An empty net goal for Evgeny Malkin. 6-3 Penguins with 3 to go here in Pittsburgh.
Well, this is becoming a habit between these two guys. 39-year-old Evgeny Malkin and 38-year-old Sidney Crosby scoring goals in the same game. I've lost track, Joe. Is it 3, 4, 5? How many times has it happened this year? At least 3 or 4 times. And Evgeny Malkin just in beast mode. Stripping Shannon the puck. Strong on the stick. Goes bullseye on the ENG. It's now 6-3 Penguins.
Well, the Penguins are less than 3 minutes away from picking up their 115th career win when both those guys score a goal. Here's the quick math I will do on the air. 131 times in their careers.
Thank you, sir.
Looking to improve to 115, 10, and 6.
10 and 6. My goodness. Only 10 regulation losses in the history of 71 and 87. Oh, that number is staggering.
Well, Kindle's got it in the Blues and near half wall. That was a quick pull by Joel Hofer. And quickly was scanning the ice. I thought maybe he was trying to play the puck just because that's been his game all night. There was an empty net goal for Malkin. And for Gino, that's his 3rd goal of the season. Meanwhile, Sid picks up his 7th. He just saw his 5-game point streak and 4-game goal streak come to an end on Saturday.
Picks it right up again.
Penguins a minute 50 away from stretching it to a 6-game point streak. As here's Toropchenko trying to go upstairs. Shoulder save, Jari. Parayko drives. That's blocked by Blake Lizotte.
Lizotte just gave a tap to Parayko. He felt that Parayko shot that puck right into the top of his laces. He's probably right. It's 6-3. St. Louis is frustrated.
Penguins clear it out. Dumped back in by the Blues. And they wave off icing. 75 seconds to go here in Pittsburgh. Penguins lead 6-3. As Sidney Crosby scored on a breakaway, give the Pens back a 2-goal lead, and then Evgeny Malkin with the empty net goal to make it 6-3. And the Blues have now given up 6 goals at least in their last 3 games. And the Penguins scored on their first 2 shots of the night. Give credit to St. Louis for fighting back in that first period to tie the game.
The Penguins scored on their last 2 shots then. Am I correct?
You're right.
I think so.
They might keep it that way. But again, it was the Penguins scoring in the first minute to begin this 3rd period too.
Yeah,
that ended up being pretty big.
Yeah, huge.
As the crowd rises to their feet with 20 seconds to go here in Pittsburgh. Carlson to Wotherspoon. 10 seconds left. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have a 6-game point streak. A 6-3 winner over the St. Louis Blues. A monumental night for Sidney Crosby. He picks up 1,700 career points and then picks up number 1,701 with his 7th goal of the season. Evgeny Malkin joining in on the fun with an empty net goal. Brian Rust with 2 goals tonight. And Tristan Jarry came up big, 27 saves to help the Penguins improve to 7-2-1 on the season.
You know, as much as you want to say, way to go, Rusty, with the pair. Sid with 1,700 points. Huge goal by Parker Wotherspoon in this hockey game. But for me, it starts and ends with number 35 in your program. The one constant throughout this game was Tristan Jarry. And when you need your goaltender to stand tall and make a big save for you, he was there for you. Because this game was all over the place. This game was wonky. It was nuts at times. You didn't know which direction was going to go because St. Louis just kept hanging around in this game.
So the Blues suffered their 5th loss of the season. They dropped to 3-5-1. Again, they've coughed up at least 6 goals in now 3 straight games. Penguins won't see them again until April. But the Penguins close out this short 2-game homestand with a win. Let's go downstairs. We bring in Justin Brazeau. And Justin, this was kind of a weird one, right? Back and forth, but you guys allowed St. Louis to get close, but never really to get even after the 2-2 tie. What do you think gave you guys the extra edge tonight?
Yeah, I thought Jars was great tonight in that. It kept us in. I don't think we were at our best, but I think that's what we're kind of been doing so far this year is the games, we're not playing our best, we're finding ways to win. So that's big, and obviously those saves help.
Big Braz, you seemed like you guys were a little out of sorts after you go up 2-0. You came out, to me, just through my lenses, like a different team in the second period. The details were there, a little more attention to the defensive side of the puck. Is that what was said in between periods?
Yeah, definitely. After the first, I don't think we all knew we didn't have our best. And, we get off to that good start and kind of sit back and let them, take it to us a little bit. So I think we wanted to get back on the attack and, get back to our game. And I thought we did a good job of it.
I know your line has been absolutely buzzing, but what is the difference between playing against Evgeny Malkin and playing on a line with him, especially with what he's doing right now?
Yeah, it's obviously a lot easier to play with him than against him. He's a special player, makes a lot of good plays. You just have to kind of get to the right areas for him, and he'll find you.
Hey, Justin, thank you very much for the time. We'll see you on the plane.
See you on the plane.
Thank you.
Way to go, man.
That is Justin Brazeau for the Penguins. Take down the St. Louis Blues 6-3. Fun one tonight here from PPG Paints Arena. We'll let Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer start off the post-game conversation before Borky and I wrap up a few more things here from Pittsburgh. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bourque. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shift. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Through their Colorful Communities program, they team up with community partners to protect and beautify neighborhoods globally. Since 2015, they've completed over 500 projects, including one I had the chance to be a part of right here in Pittsburgh. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
Stay warm this winter with Glassmere Fuel Service, your MVP for heating oil and propane in Pittsburgh. Call 800-235-9054 or visit Glassmere.com. Glassmere Fuel Service, keeping your home warm at a competitive price, season after season.
Hi, Joe Stefka here for NSS Life. For well over a century, we've been providing a smarter, more affordable way to deliver financial security for families across America.
And hi, this is Phil Bourque. NSS Life is a great company that continues to offer charitable, social, and educational opportunities. Plus, their annuities ensure that your money is safe and grows every single day.
NSS Life, where family matters.
The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team because doing what's right for our planet is vital work, best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
This is the Rivers Casino Penguins Live postgame show. Here are your hosts, Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer.
I got people texting me like, this is crazy. I mean, it really is. I mean, I think people just don't expect this from the Pittsburgh Penguins. But
feels like 1989.
But you got Sid and Gino out there. You never know what's going to happen before the end of the night. And they waited a little long to put on their show, but they put it on. The Penguins were up by a goal, and they needed that next one to kind of salt it away. And Sid pulled that off nicely. And then Gino added one for good measure, and the Penguins win it 6-3. Welcome into Penguins Live postgame, presented by Rivers Casino with Brian Metzer. I'm Paul Steigerwald. And Metz, it's just nice to see the Penguins find a way to win a game like that. I do think Tristan Jarry, as Borky said, meant a lot in this game because he quietly went about the business of making all the key saves he needed to make, to keep the Penguins in the lead, right? Because the Blues were pressing at times. Oh, yeah. And so you got to have that. And I really believe the Penguins' goaltending has really been the key to their success so far this year. I think both goaltenders have played really well, but Jarry now, I think now for 3 straight games, I'm not going to say he stole this game tonight, but he was a major factor in the Penguins winning this game.
He did what he had to do to help them win the hockey game, and he was just locked in. Borky and I talked about it in the second intermission. You and I have talked about it up in the press box. He just looks like a different guy. The way he's getting, facing shooters, staying solid, not dropping as quickly, kind of looking confident. Borky specifically pointed to the Toropchenko whenever he lulled him into shooting to his glove and made an excellent glove save on him. He's doing things that a confident goaltender would do, and we haven't seen that from Tristan Jarry in a long time.
Really happy for him because he went through a lot of adversity last year, sent down to the minors.
Yep.
And had to come back and then got a chance again to come back, and that's when he really turned it on going down the stretch last year, and he has carried it over into the start of this year. Good on him, right?
Yep. You want to root for a guy like that.
Let's go back now to Joe Brand and the old 2-Niner, and we'll hear what they had to say about who the player of the game is, the 3 stars, and the play of the game.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Staggy. And yeah, I think you're right on with the goaltending situation. Both goaltenders have said that they have been thriving off of this whole new situation, rotating from each guy. You kind of know when your next appearance is going to be, no matter how you did in the previous game. So it's seeming to work out for both guys right now.
Yeah, and I was